Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here, we're live, hopefully quite loud as well. And it is that time. We're finally, again, Harry, we're leaving an international break behind us. And this is the last time we'll be doing that until March. So a nice long breath now of domestic bliss. We're back for the Sorare deadline show after a wee hiatus for the international break, but we're back. And Harry, I've built this in the description of the video today is, I think, the biggest Sorare game week ever. Probably on payout. But we're here for the deadline stream and I'm joined by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man. How you doing, my man? My man.
Doing really well. Yeah. Doing really well, mate. Mate, it's been a little while, hasn't it? We didn't do the stream for the last couple of game weeks, obviously international, and it's always nice to come back, isn't it, with a bang. And I think, yeah, like you just said then, it is a massive game week. Like I can't recall a bigger game week as far as like, yeah, obviously the Premier League thing, that's going to carry a lot of weight as far as just naming rights, but obviously you got the the cash prizes and whatever, and yeah, that, and we haven't had a domestic game week for a little while, so yeah, it feels pretty special, to be fair, and I'm buzzing for it. And like you said, no internationals now for a good few months, which is great. And yeah, no, I'm really excited for this upcoming weekend.
It feels like every weekend it gets a wee bit more intense. It gets a wee bit more exciting. There's been more stuff rolling out all the time, but this is the game week. I think, Harry, like I said, it feels like with the Premier League thing on the go, with all the cash that's actually like available in the SO5 arena, and the prize pots for the tournaments we've got, like, it's a huge game week. Myself personally, I am pretty injury stricken this game week. We're getting fist bumps raining in from Sorare scouts and managers all over the world tuning in for the deadline show today, but I'm feeling a wee bit stronger for it. I've had to make some what would normally be slightly more difficult choices have been kind of forced upon me, and it's maybe been a bit easier once you kind of go through all the possibilities. I dropped a little tweet the other day of Doctor Strange using the time stone, because that's the way I felt going through Sorare data, making all my lineups in different formats. And what if I put this guy in 220? And what if this guy plays in 240? And what if this DNP guy gets the game? And what if that doesn't happen? And just trying to get all the bases covered, because this game week, like at the deadline, we know what it's like. Sometimes we've had a few deadline sweats. You don't want to be caught with your pants down this game week, because it is going to be a huge game week for a lot of people. And I think this is a great one. I was saying this, I think on the podcast this week, Harry, but with this super cap, no matter what scarcity you play in, if I was like in my first or second season in playing Sorare, like this is a competition I would be bending over backwards to be getting a good team into as often as possible. You only need 4 really good scores. It's kind of hard to forecast the whole diary of the competition because it's 220. It's such a, it's such a tight margin to get into. So I think like every opportunity where you see, I could get a significant score. Like if I was in my first or second season, because of the prize pools that's on offer, I'd be going for it, because like I say, it's such a hard competition to really forecast a lineup against that. No one knows in 2 weeks from now, like who's got the cheat code or what, like we've seen with the super cap from the 270, like a lot of people were looking at that leaderboard going, wow, I should have entered that. And 220 might be so unforgiving that, so anyway, that's 220. No, I'm buzzing for it.
I definitely agree with that. Obviously, there's going to be probably more entrants in this 220 across the board. Hence, just because it's a lower cap, obviously, specifically in limited. I've added it to my sort of lineup building, week with my Road to Glory. It's my biggest lineup this weekend as far as like prioritization goes, because you just need one common in there, and obviously Ramsdale's the cheat code this weekend, isn't he? Looks like with that L15 of 0. So that will probably happen every week of some sort. It might not be a goalkeeper, it might be an outfielder that's coming back from injury, whoever it is. There is always those iterations, and it's obviously easier to do a common because you could just pick him in the draft, obviously. But at limited, you obviously have to buy him, and then for rare and above, obviously it becomes tougher. So you won't see it too much, but in the above scarcities, unless that person kind of owns him already, just by chance. But yeah, the 220 is really interesting. And I saw a few sort of moan and groans on Twitter, as we usually do. What's the point giving people tier 5s that are like 20p or whatever? Which I kind of get, but you don't have to enter the competition. It is what it is, isn't it? They're there, and they're up for grabs if you are willing to put in the work over this last month. And yeah, I've not like I didn't enter the 270 long form. I didn't even enter the gas long form because I just didn't really have the players to do so. So like this is my first taste of the long form where like I feel like I've got a semi decent chance at super rare level for sure. I'm not playing it at rare, but then at limited as well. So I'm honestly really excited for it. And we haven't even spoken about the Premier League, Quinny.
That's it. And but the thing with the Premier League is multi-stream as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3 entrants, isn't it, across every scarcity basically. So you could have if you're playing unique, not that you're going to have three lineups in unique, but you could have 9 lineups going out across limited, rare, and super rare, but probably not going to happen too much. Johnny asked me, Jaden Bogle. I don't even know Bogle. Is he playing for Derby? I don't even know who he plays for, or is it Chef still?
No idea.
Derby, wasn't it?
But this comment's definitely grabbed me. The scramble is real for Sven. So Sven is going right at it. We've got just under 2 hours. I know Sven plays a lot of lineups. And Harry, I actually caught your lineup builder senior 220. And it made me think, because I was thinking now that they've changed the rules where like you need to have less than 10 anything cards to play commons. So we're all screwed. We can't play it anymore. I was just like, okay, well, I should probably start getting some limited thresholds with the bits and pieces of limiteds I'm never going to sell or whatever. And I got myself a wee Angus gun, but I think he is going to he's out this game week, so I don't have him. And I didn't really think anything about it. But then when I was watching yours, I was thinking, I can just go and get a wee common Ramsdale as well. So I've followed suit with the Harry Trades Road to Glory. So thanks for that, Harry. Gave me a wee tip off. So I've got a wee limited 220. It's probably the only team I'm going to field. I'm probably not going to do it again, but maybe if they score good, maybe I'll try it again. Who knows? But yeah, the scramble is real. And I think that's the 220s, Sven, that are going to give you the biggest headache if you did want to go after any of them hard. We're hoping for new faces as well. Sorare announced this week that every Tuesday we're going to be waking up first thing in the morning, opening up the auctions and going to serial number 1 cards filter. And let's see who the new faces are today. So no Palmer yet. We got some Chelsea guys. We got Cole Palmer. We got Nkunku. We got Enzo, of course, and maybe somebody else. I think there was 4 of them in total. And then maybe a few other kind of tertiary ones. I think some other clubs got licenses this week, like Elche and somebody else. So that was cool. And they also did a collection event where we had a kind of like a named list of champion Euro teams that, I know from communication I've had with Sorare in the past, they have had tons of this stuff like in their headquarters, basically. So I think they've just inventoried it all and just went collector time. Let's get them dished out and let's go for it. So I managed to redeem mine, Harry. I'm the number 1 super rare collector for Girona. So I'm getting
That's massive.
Hopefully I hope it's a squad signed shirt, and then I'll then have a few signed things. I might try and get them framed and maybe finally paint the walls. Everyone's been begging me to paint the walls.
I think they should go behind, where you've got the posters now. No disrespect to the posters. They've done their job, but I think a signed shirt, a three sets of signed shirts up there would be
that'd be cool.
Better. Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool. And the posters.
I was actually speaking to Sam Tide just on that topic. He I think his wife sort of does his signed shirts, like packages them herself type of thing.
Ooh.
So I don't know if you get the message. Yeah, and it's like 50 quid off Amazon. You can buy the set, the
kit for it.
Obviously, yeah, the kit for it.
Love it.
So yeah, maybe 150. You could be flying.
Love that. Sam Ty's got some good moves. He's got the missus doing that for him, so I'll need to pick up some tips from Sam Ty, the football guy, as per. Fist bumps, by the way. Love to see all the love coming in, guys. We've got 69 of you live and loud with us so far on YouTube. There'll be a bunch of you on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and wherever else this is getting pumped out to live. If you are on YouTube, but you probably know this already, but Sorare own and control the internet, and they will know when you deploy your teams this game week if you have liked the stream or not for the deadline. And you're more likely to get a DNP. You're more likely to have the worst captain pick. And ultimately, when it comes to pulling any rewards, you're just more likely to get bottom of the pool. So help me, help Harry, help the channel, help yourself. And when you're here for the live stream today, drop a like and get comfy. Once we get to 67 likes, we've got some giveaway stuff. We've got, for regular viewers of the channel, they'll know this already, but for the last month, we've been giving away Premier League Limited cards in Season 3 dimensional Premier League Limiteds for the last month or so. We've got the final one to give away. And would you believe it, Harry? It's L15, I think he's 52, Raheem Sterling. So fantastic forward card that could help a lot of people out in a 270 Premier League competition, let's say, or maybe even a funky 220 if you had a wee DNP card and you were after a forward with a bit of AA, could get a decisive or whatever. So that's already kind of established. We'll be giving that away from a random comment on the Sorare beginners tutorial on the channel. I might come back and do another giveaway on that video because the giveaway didn't really pop it well enough for me for what the name of the game is, if that makes sense. So at any time, if you're on the channel, check out the beginners tutorial and drop a wee top tip and you might win something. But this game week before the deadline, we'll be shipping away a Raheem Sterling. And I've also got 2 little odds and sods cards that I'm definitely giving away today to people that are joining us live here on YouTube as well. Just because I want them out of my gallery now. I'm just kind of like, yeah, let's just get rid of them. They're not that great. Don't get too excited. But we'll give away Sterling as per the competition. And then we'll have some bits and pieces to give away, certainly, to the guys that are here with us today. But yeah, Harry boy, we've had the doors open for about 10-15 minutes. Everyone's getting comfy. The lights are flowing in. Everyone's getting ready, set. The fist bumps are in. And I think paint your badge from Sorare. Oh, that'd be cool. Or Sorare wall art. That'd be quite cool. It's a colour, but Celtic fans just see this and just cannot not see Rangers, you know. I relentlessly tell Celtic fans it's Egyptian porcelain. That's the colour that it says on the tin of paint. It doesn't say blue anywhere. It says Egyptian porcelain. So, but anyway, I need to change the colour at some point probably. So if we get the shirts framed, maybe that's an excuse to maybe give the place a freshen up or something. Who knows?
That's what you need to do. You need to paint the walls white and green. Striped as well.
White.
Then you just be like the Celtic guy. Not that you aren't now, but like that would make you like. I only just thought about that. Like the Rangers thing actually right now, which I've never actually associated that room with that. So you know. I
don't either, you know.
Yeah.
It's more Scotland than anything either. Maybe that's the way I think of it too. You know, for Scotland.
Yeah, okay.
We've got the Celtic top, we've got the Celtic scarf, we've got the Celtic man, you know, like
as he wears a blue hoodie.
Also got the Man City
this
weekend as well. We're going to see Man City. Score nailing it there probably. Just one of those ones. But good shout as well on the Hatate by low. Could definitely be. I was thinking that myself. But we're at that point, Harry, of the deadline show where let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. And talking about Celtic. Sitting top of the matchup indicator again. Motherwell are in free fall at the moment, and it's one of those matches where you kind of see this in Scottish football from time to time. A manager maybe comes in, gets ahead of steam, and then maybe if the results do start to derail, they play one of the bigger teams in the country, probably one of the teams from Glasgow, and if they get turned over, it can be a real, you know, final nail in the coffin situation. So Motherwell kind of going from bad to worse, it feels like. And Celtic, you know, international break's been relatively kind to us. No new injuries, certainly. And with some of the guys that are injured, we're not actually losing that many guys to international duty, you know, with some of the ones that have been out. Like Dyson's not available anyway. Hatate's not out anyway. But, you know, Carter Vickers, Alistair Johnson, in fact, they went to North America. So wee bits and pieces going on. But I think the Celtic team is going to be pretty strong this game week. And at home, Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff is normally a good time to be at Paradise. And yeah, I think McBride's got the team pretty nailed. It feels like Ralston will be preferred over Alistair Johnson, just down to the international travel and whatnot. So maybe opens up a wee L15-48 in the Celtic defence for someone, perhaps, if they want to do maybe some sort of Celtic stack for one of these divisions. Because with Jun being L15-39, you've got a good bit of wiggle room in there for 2 stronger cards and maybe a 270, or if you had a DNP goalkeeper, maybe in 220, you know, because 48 defence and 39 for forward. That gives you plenty of wiggle for 2 spots, you know. So, yeah, really strong Celtic team. We're expecting Kyogo. He's all good, and he's been seen in training. All of the paranoia around the concussion protocol was for nothing. I'd rather be extra paranoid, and it didn't come to anything than be naive to it, and then it slaps you in the face like a wet salmon. You know, so the Motherwell team are more than likely going to bank up at Parkhead. 5-3-2s be expected here. Blair, Spittle, Slatterly and Payton making up the midfield. You'll be pleased to see that, Harry boy. And yeah, Liam Kelly in goals, L15-37. I don't know how good value that's going to be. Celtic should be scoring 4 or 5 in this match. So yeah, I think this is going to be a good one for the Hoops, certainly. I think most of the team picks itself. Turnbull is more than likely going to be preferred to Odenholm for me. Normally at home, Brendan Rodgers is liked to play Turnbull with O'Reilly. And like I said, with the last match I went to, Celtic at home to Aberdeen, where we won 6-0. Score, are you here still? Turnbull and O'Reilly, I seen it in person. Like, see when Turnbull came on the pitch, like, or when they were on the pitch together, they're like talking to each other, wee backhand high five stuffs on the go, you know. And O'Reilly, Celtic fans will remember, was like full of praise for Turnbull early season, saying Ange never really gave him a fair crack at the whip minutes wise last season or whatnot. So I do feel that they too like playing together. And I think that they will play together this week. And I think it's going to be a good game for probably all Celtic cards that you've probably got in a team this game week. So good value, top of the board. But I said to you, Harry, when we seen this matchup indicator, this is going to be a battle royale this game week. There's so many teams here in just as good a position. You know, Celtic are not the only ones sitting this pretty now. AZ at home with Volendam. Volendam, I know we've got some hero cards for some people out there, right? But that's a game we're looking at over 2.5 goals in as well, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that top 5 or top 7, you could argue, if you take out Bayern, are all challenger. So,
yeah,
challenger this week feels like the sort of, not you can't really avoid it, obviously playing in gas, but it feels like we're going to get some big scores, as we always do, but it does feel like maybe extra this weekend more so. What's this, an Aberdeen inside?
Yeah, I didn't hear us there. Missed it. Love it. So yeah, AZ going strong. They are sitting 4th in the table. Volendam around 17th or so. They're definitely right at the bottom of the table, thereabouts anyway. Pavlidis, Ruben van Bommel up in the attacking line, along with Jens Odgaard, L1525 back in the house. Along with Sven Mignan, Jordi Clasie in midfield with DeWitt. And I've seen a lot of people talk about Sugawara's. I think the last video I watched this morning was Haber doing some lineup building, but Sugawara's been everywhere in lineup builders that I've been seeing this game week. AAA rated, fullback for this one, clean sheet. Likely enough. You know, they've not got that much attacking talent here, but in the Dutch league, like normally you can't really guarantee a clean sheet that often. XG under 1, certainly, 0.08. So, yeah, AZ expected to go off on them in a big way. And that Odegaard, by the way,
looks
25 L15s, not too shabby.
Yeah, the wingers for AZ have been a bit hit or miss this season. Obviously, Van Bederode hasn't really kicked on yet as good as I thought he would have. That Ernest Poku's a good player as well, by the way. So and Van Bommel, like Ian says in the chat, he did well for the 21s. He's very good. Ruben van Bommel, and very low L15s, which obviously can help things. Pavlidis is obviously the play realistically because he's probably on pens and whatever. But yeah, you'd fancy Sugawara, Clasie, Pavlidis, DeWitt, Mynans, and then centre backs as well to probably really score well. I'm not saying Odegaard won't score well, but he hasn't played for a while, so you never know. But very good game to come into, isn't it?
Could be an absolute smasher. No two ways about it. And we've got Feyenoord away to Excelsior. And Feyenoord, again, I think every deadline show Feyenoord are in the top 5. They've been very dominant domestically. Along with PSV, they're sitting second in the league. Excelsior, but haven't been scrubs. They're kind of around mid-table-ish, I'm sure. I'll go and check that out in a second. But Troy Parrott up top for them. And I don't really know any of these other people. Cici Sandra, but I do know him because he's got a funny name. And I've seen his auctions go a few times. And so they get Cici Sandra, who is apparently a really good player, by the way. He's ginger, for anyone who was wondering. And they've got Troy Parrott up front. And then Feyenoord, as we've seen all season, very consistent starting 11 when fit and available. No Minty at the moment, but it looks like Ivanusic and Paixão, along with Jimenez, form the front 3. And otherwise, I say, the rest of the team has been relatively consistent this season. But huge Feyenoord week again on paper.
Yeah, it is, mate. I follow both teams quite closely, to be fair, having a bit of an Excelsior stack as well as having a couple of the Feyenoord boys. And the fact that it's away, I wouldn't care less, to be honest. Excelsior they just concede so many goals. It's a joke. I'm not saying they will score, but they are prone to scoring goals, but they are very, very prone to conceding multiple goals, and they're playing Feyenoord. So recipe for disaster, I think, for them. I can't see how they don't lose this game. A couple to something. I think they'll score a goal, honestly. I don't know if the final clean sheet is as locked. And that's not saying they won't score well as a defense, but like I don't know if the clean sheet's locked. They've got some decent players. Driouech, one of the boys for my Road to Glory, always seems to pop up with a goal. Big game for him. But yeah, the final team's looking really, really good.
Free Ayase Ueda is the plea for Mikey Baston. Nowhere to be seen in the predictions. And if he's fit, that's a bit criminal because he was good before he got injured. And Hormans can get some nice scores, says Rico Man. Rico Man knows his onions.
Yeah, he's a good scorer, right back.
Oh yeah, 1561. I can believe that. No problem at all. It looks like he's doing a little pout in his picture. It looks like he's giving a wee, you know, hey punk, you know, kind of pout.
Little Movember tout.
He's giving us one of them. This is probably the game that excites me the most for like the budget player out there this week, you know, because like Challenger Europe is one of the regions that people come to when they first start playing Sorare, and it's like, okay, I can probably get good points per pound here. I can get a guy on set pieces. I can get a captain, a penalty taker, starting striker, that kind of thing. And, you know, Red Bull is the most expensive one, even though they probably haven't been good value for money in that sense this season. But Sturm Graz is normally a team that people do tend to land at. And when you see, for me, whenever I do see them in the top order, I always think, oh, good, there'll be some value budget managers out there that have probably got some great pieces right now, good collections, and you know whatever that might have something going for them. And yeah, it looks like they've got some good L15 characters here with Zulji on 61, Horvath 65. Maybe there's not anything too punchy in defence, but it's a decent enough wee team. That's Lasky. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. I was thinking, I don't recognise that team from when I looked at it before. 2 seconds. There we go. Maybe that adjusted on me. I was like, yeah, where's the goalkeepers would totally threw me. I was like, oh, hold on a minute. But yeah, Prass is the man that always comes up, is one of these guys, is a young talent, good value player on Sorare as well, and a lot of kind of value pieces. Stankovic as well. Not doing too good in his L15, but
Walrich at the back seems to do pretty well. The centre back, left centre back.
Sherpin, we all know the under 23 goalkeeper in there.
Yeah, there's no like standouts, but like you said, there is budget sort of players in there where, you know, the league just kind of gets forgotten a little bit, I guess, or maybe disregarded a little bit in the Challenger sphere, or maybe just Sorare sphere in general. But then they do come with a big break over this Christmas period, don't they? So that's like, you know, probably why they're so cheap, realistically.
Yeah.
But yeah, good scores if they've got games.
Yeah, because the opposition scores, as you see there, for forwards and defenders there for, you know, Sturm Graz, this team that they're playing against concede a lot. So although some of the averages there for that team don't stand out, this is the one game of the season where you expect them to explode, you know, playing bottom of the league at home. So after an international break, they don't have that many internationals, you know, they'll probably be quite well recovered from it. The next one is probably maybe the glamour stack that we had early season. A lot of people were kind of maybe moving towards with the way the summer window went, and expected, you know, team to maybe take that Ajax mantle of the power stack. You know, maybe there's a wee bit of Fenerbahce in there as well, I suppose, but it does feel like Galatasaray were that team, kind of are that team still for a lot of challenger players. And good game for them. The team's still not that easy to predict, but
yeah, the main pieces are kind of there, though, aren't they? Arturoglu, whatever his name is, Zaha, Icardi, Bardaki, Sasha Bowie, obviously the keeper as well. I know Angelino's quite popular, but he seems to be semi out of favour, I guess. And then Torreira's quite nailed as well. So, like, you know, you're not picking the whole team is kind of the good thing about Sorare. You're only needing to pick 5 of them if you're, you know, looking for a Gala stack. And, you know, that core is there for you, if that makes sense, if you are looking to kick on with them. And yeah, no, some big scores there. So has Zaha been that good so far for them? I don't think he has he? He's been okay.
I think he's been good, I just don't think he's had let me just go.
I don't hear about him every week like he scored 100. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying his stats are bad at L15 and 55, but like, I don't know, it just maybe hasn't lit it up as a couple of decent scores there. Nothing incredible though, like
it's not a run. It's kind of like he's still at Palace, isn't it? Kind
of, yeah. Like, he's not, you know, a natural goal scorer. Obviously, he's a winger at the end of the day. So, like, you know, beating his man is kind of the the sort of role that he has in a team. But you'd think, you know, going to the Turkish league, no disrespect, but you know, you'd think he would have, popped off a little bit more, I would say. But look at that. He's not paid 90 minutes once, by the way, which is interesting.
Yeah. They do like their
Always
subs
seems to
because of
get
their
bumped up.
international rules and stuff, don't they?
Okay, yeah.
Don't really know the whole script of it all, but
great
big game
fixture,
for
like
them.
you said, and yeah. And
Now,
then first champion team.
yeah, and I don't know if this is going to be Friday Curse, Harry, because we've got 2 amazing games tonight. This is the first one. I don't know if this is an amazing game, but it'll be really fun to watch. Cologne at home. Team, some guys here that are decent. Selke had a good profile. I was never a bit of a fan of him. Kynes, we know, good guy. Waldschmidt's been around the block, kind of never really cracked it. Eric Martel, we know. And anyone else? Schwabe, Libicic, I don't know. And then against Bayern. So Bayern really need to get the finger out. They really need to catch up with Leverkusen. There's just no getting away from it. Sané and Kane can keep doing what they're doing, but they need to, they're behind the 8 ball. They need to get back in control of the situation. And there's no taking anyone lightly for Bayern. They play tonight in the Friday night effort. And it looks like the team is pretty well settled. Looks like Davies will probably make it back in time from Canada. 50% on to start this match. The rest of the team kind of picks itself, I guess. And this should be a monster game for Bayern, you think?
Yeah, it's a different dynamic without Musiala, I think. I'm not to say that the Muller can't, do a job in there, obviously, with his experience and stuff. Like, obviously, different profile to Musiala. But, the pieces are there, aren't they? Kane's still probably going to score a couple. Can Coman and Sane chip in with some assists and whatever? And then what can Kimmich and Goretzka do from that sort of CDM role? But yeah, kind of, again, the core is there. Like, you don't have to go out and risk a Davies if you don't kind of want to. Like, there's other options. But it's a way you just never know. Friday night, we've seen these go wrong, Quinny, more than we would like, I guess, if you do have these type of players in your team. And I don't know. I'm not saying they won't go out and win, but I don't know. It's an interesting one. Like you said, Cologne have a few decent players.
Yeah. I personally see with the whole Musiala dynamic, I think if Tuchel wants to keep a Musiala presence in the team, he would play Conrad Leimer in that position. So I think this is the team that will probably play and stuff like that. But, that's to be... But when I think if you want to keep that presence, like Leimer can do that role for you. He loves Leimer. He's played him everywhere. I think he does start Muller because the dressing room runs Bayern more than the coach does. But I think if the coach is picking this team and he wants to keep the same tactics, he can easily do it by just playing Leimer in that position. He's not as good as Musiala, of course, but he'll cover the same ground. He'll walk into the same pockets of space. He'll make the same link-up passes, in general build-up play. He'll do some of the same stuff for you. So more than Muller will, certainly,
Yeah, I think he's probably in there for his experience, isn't he, really, Muller?
Yeah, he's just in there because he's Muller.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
And then we're back to Turkey, Harry. We're back to Turkey for the other potential star of Challenger elect we had this season, Livakovic in goals, with a back four that never grabs me. The Fenerbahce defence. Akayadin's come back in. Now, I know earlier when we've looked at Fenerbahce, everyone's been saying, it's good that Ferdi's a defender. And Ferdi's obviously been scoring pretty well. But this Akayadin at his last team, he was a really good scoring centre-back. So if he is fit and gets into this Fenerbahce team now, he could, and he's not that glamorous. I think he's over 30 or something like that, so nothing special about him in that respect. But he could be a really solid scorer if that's him, and he's played 8 of the last 15, so it looks like he's starting to build up his reps. Crespo or Fred, close to Crespo, Szymanski, Dzeko, and Tadic up top. No Cengiz under yet.
I watched Ferdi play it live on Tuesday against Wales. Yeah, he was at the Cardiff City Stadium, and he was shocking. I'll be honest, he was absolutely rubbish, like genuinely now, like garbage. Obviously, great player domestically and whatever, and he scored well for Turkey in other games, but he was honestly really bad. Like, I'm not just saying it. Bardaki was good for Gala, centre back, decent player. But Ferdi was honestly real bad. He was like playing right back, and then he went to left back. Kept kicking the ball out of play. It was really weird. But that Usyk played as well. That CDM. I'm pretty sure he played. He was average as well, to be fair. But yeah, Szymanski, Tadic, Dzeko is the 3 here, isn't it? That you're probably worried about. creeping up on the podiums and whatever, because big home fixture. I assume they'd like to keep a clean sheet, and some goals will be scored 100%.
Yeah, big time here. Big favourite for the midfielder. It doesn't really indicate too much for the forwards, but I think that there probably isn't too much to be read into. And then, look at those heavy green matchup indicators. We're just going to ignore El Ittihad for a moment, but Ajax at home to Vitesse looks like a fixture from last season or the season before, the way it's lined up there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one, that, isn't it? I know Ajax have kind of been a bit better the last couple of games. I wouldn't say they've turned it around, but they've definitely, gone on a little bit of a baby streak, which they'll want to continue, of course. And I don't know. I mean, they've lost Van der Boomen's injured, isn't he? I saw that pop up on my timeline. I think he's done his knee or something. Mm-hmm. I mean, the front three kind of picks itself, doesn't it, with Ajax right now? It's the middle three that's, very young, realistically, if we're looking at that. Like, Taylor's probably the oldest player there, and he's only like 21 or whatever. So, like, I don't know. I'm not saying that, that matters too much, but, it's an interesting team, and they're in transition big time, as we know. You'd fancy, Bergwijn and Bergwijn to probably do a job, like on Sorare. I don't know if I'd be picking anyone else. Maybe Satalo, potentially, to be fair. Satalo seems to do okay. But, like, Kenny Taylor, L15 of 40 seems low. That could be a nice little capped option. I mean, Vitesse, aren't they? They've got that Kasper Kowalski. I think he's on loan from Brighton. Decent player. Obviously, Miller Mullenstein. I mean, Milan Manhoef seems to score pretty well now and again.
Aye, Milovic, Eloy Rooms, a few players there, but it looks like a monster for Ajax. And so far, every team we've looked at are heavy stacked teams, proper clubs in that respect, on Sorare. Hamburg here at home to Braunschweig, again, is another team that I know Hamburg have become one of the favourite kind of D2 teams, because last season, the people that got into them are really excited because they never got promoted. So they've had 2 second division eligibilities out of them where they're a top team. They've not got into the Bundesliga and started to get smashed or have to go through a transition period or whatever it might be. So great fixture for them. Braunschweig, again, similar to one of the other opponents we've featured. I think it was Austria Lustenau. But Braunschweig are one of the apex opponents that you want for your team, particularly when your team's at home. And Hamburg have got a really good one this week. The XG is quite high for them, I think, 0.278. I don't think they always get that. They're not that high scoring an outfit typically. But this guy, Jata, I think he's previously injured. So it's good to see he's been playing for them for their sake. I kind of recognise some of these guys. Laszlo Benes, Jean-Luc Dompe. I don't know where he came from, but I've definitely seen him around. This
he was in Belgium,
Muhim guy, people are bigging this guy up to be decent too. Was he Belgium?
Okay, I think so. Yeah, Gianluca Domp. Good team. Some good scorers in there for sure. That Ismail Peral. He's a good little player as well. I think they got him from the second division, like a different team, if that makes sense. In the summer, but good scorers there for sure. Yeah.
So if you've got Hamburg, great game week for you. And again, D2 team very stacked. And then it's the return of Zenit. It feels like it's been a long, long time since Zenit were like, I don't know, is this top 10, Harry, if we took out the Asian games? Would Zenit break top 10? No.
1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be 10th, to be fair. They would be 10th.
Oofed. So definitely a long time since we've seen Zenit break a top 10, I think, on this show. Maybe ever. They can't be ever. But the front line, we've got the old Nepenfest favourite, Isiador, up front for them. That's quite cool to see. But it looks like the main man, Claudinho, obviously no card. Wendell, Barrios, and Douglas Santos are the mainstays. Otherwise, there's not really much of a stack here, I suppose. Is there? Mostovoy, you used to have him, didn't you? Or was it someone else?
Might have had, at one point I probably owned him for a little period. I had a Wendell and Santos for a long time, actually. Santos was one of my first ever buys.
Nice.
3 years ago now. But they're just not. Zenit just haven't been there. Obviously, Krasnodar are kind of the boys this year in that league. You've still got Wendell and Barrios Santos, like you said, and if you fancy him to get a clean sheet, which they got a very good chance this weekend, then obviously you bring the goalie into that equation. maybe a cheeky little stack that way with Santos potentially. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they've just not been it, have they? Really, they really haven't.
No, not at all. And again, as far as like so many of these games we've looked at so far on paper are so good, right? As we all know, the trope is for La Liga, Mallorca, good at home, bad away. And Atletico Madrid, if they're going to score goals, it's probably going to be in a game like this, especially at home. And the lineup they've got, I know this kind of looks a wee bit defensive, but Samuel Lino is a left back and Llorente is a right back and Griezmann is a centre mid. It's not really that defensive an outfit, really, when you look at it. So I think this could be a really good Atletico Madrid team this game week. The problem with some of the pieces, like the Maratas and like Llorente, Correa, they really need the decisive to come in bunches. They don't normally get enough AA to get into the 80 points mark off of one decisive. They really need to get doubles. Is this a game they could get it in? You would think so on paper, but Mallorca do defend well. They're very used to defending. It's kind of the way they play. So it's, backs to the walls, kind of not out of their wheelhouse necessarily. So good possession expected for Atleti. I would like to think, XG2, I would like to think they're probably on for scoring 3 or 4 in this game. Clean sheet, I think, it's probably 50-50, maybe a wee bit more in favour of a clean sheet for Atleti. This could be a full top to bottom clean sheet, maybe 3 or 4-0 if everything went according to plan. Football never works like that, of course, but just another team that, again, just it looks like everything's great for them on paper. They're playing all their attackers. They're at home against a team that's bad away. And even this team, like Muriki's the main guy. He's not expected to start. I don't know if he's injured or suspended or something. Larin's been okay. Maffeo, I don't know if you know this, by the way, but he got called into the Argentina team or the Uruguay team. I thought it was Uruguay, and then I read something yesterday and it said Argentina. So, but he never got a cap because he got injured or something. So, he's not been great since I sold him, which is maybe one of the few times you're able to say that. Sometimes it's the other way around, isn't it? But he has now got international something. So there you go. But there's not much else going on in this team. So could be quite good for Atleti. Quite a cheap champion team as far as champion teams go. That's not the Barcelona you think it is.
It's the imposters.
And then we've got Leeds, who again were one of the pre-season babes, I think, if you're going to get a budget stacked together, it was one of those relegated Premier League teams that were going to go into the Championship and be OP. And playing Rotherham is one of those games where, wrong button, where you think it's going to be a Premier League opponent versus like a League One bottom end of Championship opponent. And the Leeds team looks pretty good. Most of them are carded as well. You've got a few of these guys, don't you, Harry?
I honestly don't, to be fair. I wish I did. I should have a Rodon and a Dan James, being Welsh, but I actually don't. I mean, the problem with this one is, well, not problem, but like,
have you not got a Perot?
I think Stish does or did. I've never had a Perot, to be fair.
I don't know. I thought you had one of these guys.
I think, no Ruta is a bit of not an issue, but he's been on fire obviously as their number 9. So Bamford looks to be the sort of replacement for him this weekend.
15-26.
Yeah, very low. Who is he behind Bamford, if that makes sense, Ruta, or is he literally completely out?
It's 35% Ruta.
Yeah.
15% Nonto.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's wild, isn't it? Nonto can't get a game in the Championship, by the way. Mental. But great fixture. Rotherham, it's away, but this could be a big scoring game week for Meslier, obviously in goal. Or definitely get a clean sheet. Might not get too much AA, but Somerville, Perot, Somerville, Dan James, I would say are the two here. That Archie Gray at right back, he'll be signed by Liverpool, I'll say, by the end of the season.
I started following him last year because I heard soon he made his debut. I heard that he is like a third gen. His dad was like Eddie Gray and all that stuff or whatever. So I was like, if he's that, you just know those guys sometimes when you hear, this guy is Dan, his granddad, now he's debuted at 16 or something. You're like, right, okay, well, he's going to be he'll be a player, So you've seen him then and you rate him.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, mate. I watched Cardiff play them first game of the season. He started he's basically played every game, and he can play he's a midfielder. I don't know why he's down as he probably can play right back, I guess, but he's definitely a centre mid. And yeah, mate, he's frightening. Like, he gives me Bellingham vibes in that sense. Not as like attacking as maybe Bellingham is, but like, mate, he takes like set pieces sometimes from like, he's literally the guy and he's 17. Like, he's class. He's so good. Like, I don't think his scores are there for SM5, but like, you watch him play and he's just gliding around the field and he's 17 years old. Like, it's mental.
Yeah. And then behind Sturm Graz in the pecking order, Harry boy.
The Salzburg boys.
A good bit of distance, it must be said, as the premium Austria team that you're going to go for. The Red Bull Salzburg, everyone's favourite conglomerate. And yeah, the team looks strong for them. Schlager, Dedic, Piatkowski, Pavlovic, Guindo, midfield. Yeah, seems it's getting quite consistent. But we've got a new face up front here with Ratkov. He's a new one to me. Savic unlikely to start. And Karim Kanate, I've started to see him come around the rumour mills now for the Premier League, so he might be getting his shop window opportunity over this little period before the winter break. Is it just this game, or do they have an hour game or two? Do you know? No.
I'm not sure. Top of your head. Oh, I don't know. Well, they'll play Champions League, won't they?
Of course, yeah. So they must have a couple of games at least, yeah. So
they must have a couple, yeah.
I think they've been. I think Salzburg, the stack has been frustrating for striker options. So I know these things are probably quite short-lived for what they are there now, but I think if you're getting linked to Premier League clubs, that's normally when Salzburg will make sure the guy plays all the time, you know, and sell him for 40 million, and then go and get the next one.
He actually hasn't been scoring recently, as you can look, see by the L15. Like, he actually has gone on a bit of a dry streak, I think. But yeah, I'm sure you'll come up with the goods maybe over the next couple of weeks to hopefully secure a move. But no Soleil again at the back for them. Injury worries. So Piakowski comes in. So yeah, it's Susic is probably the boy there, I would say, right now on form. Is like him and Pavlovic are like the two you probably want to be picking out, I would say.
That's like the Scales and O'Reilly, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, of the Austrian league, yeah.
And then talking about the love we've got on this deadline show this week for the budget stacks potentially, Cercle Bruges at home to 12th in the table, Eupen. And like the opponent score indicators there, if you see them guys, it's 65 expected for the defenders, 61 for the mids, and 58 for forwards that play Eupen. So Cercle Bruges have got some nice players, some good talents in their team. You know, Jesper Daland and Sequay, I know we've got fans way across the community, as well as this guy Gobo. Denke, I know he's a bit of a hero, maybe a little bit of a mini Ika Ugbo, Jonathan David. I don't know, I've had a few of these Belgian league strikers come up where they're just little goal machines. And then this La Marechal guy, I think we've seen him on some lineup builders and stuff as well. So handy team at home, and Eupen just concede goals all the time. So this could be shooting practice for Cercle Bruges, and for some of those defenders, midfielders we've got there, could be really high scoring all over. Look at the L15s. These guys, you presume they're starters when you see L15. Yeah, he's played 15 games, and his L15 is 27.
I own that Rune Paishus Super.
Wow.
I won him as a tier 5.
That's painful.
He has 3 own goals, I think, this season. Maybe 4. But he's great for caps.
He's a facilitator. He's like a DNG.
He's in my 220. He's firmly in.
This guy here
just outscored 27.
Played 10. Yeah, 27. Just outscored 27.
I'm not asking for too much, Rune. Just start the game and just don't get a -8 AA.
Oh, could be a big one for Cercle Bruges, I think, as well. They're mid-table. So I think these Belgian teams that aren't the provincial top clubs, because it's a division that goes into a split, their main objective is just get into the top half. And these kind of matches are the matches that get you into the top half by dishing out beatings on the bottom end of the table. We pulled up Lask earlier on in error. So I guess we can put them back on screen for a moment, just to put them in their appropriate little spot. But Lask are at home to Tyrol, and Tyrol are one of those apex opponents that concede lots of goals that you want your team to be playing. Lask have some players in them, like we mentioned before, Zulj and Horvath. Andrade, I know, is a good international card as well. He plays for like Panama or something. So he's getting some good utility. And yeah, Tyrol, I don't think they've got anything going for them. The former Salzburg goalkeeper, low cap, under 23. He's probably quite cheap now. Tafferner, L5 of 60. He's a set piece guy, I think. He's decent and kind of cheap. So yeah, good for Lask.
Yeah,
And then
very
after
good.
that, Harry, it does kind of break up a bit, doesn't it? Where then I think, because I don't think PSG, I think Anderlecht actually. Anderlecht is a really significant game. So let's go and get that.
Yeah.
Happy to take requests, guys, as well in this deadline show for any guys who are scratching together for a 220 or whatever. If you do have a request and you're watching us live on YouTube, drop it in the live chat or Twitch. I can see the chats coming from in there as well. And we'll go and do request lineups now. We'll do Anderlecht. We will look at PSG because it's a pivotal fixture. We will look at Dortmund and Leverkusen as well. But I do think that's the dominant fixtures. Once we do Anderlecht here, I think that's the real ones that seem to be clearly, good SO5 capable for everyone and anyone this game week, So
Yeah, should we do
Kasper Schmeichel.
after that?
We're waiting for him. He's one of the top cards that people are waiting for in the new faces auctions to come out. Denmark international, of course. Premier League legend. What do we call him?
Yeah, he's won the Prem. You got to give him his flowers.
Yeah, icon, legend, Hall of Fame. I don't know what we would call him. Person.
Dad's an icon. Yeah, son of an icon.
Son of an icon that became worthwhile as well. In terms of having a good career. Kylian Sardella is playing all the games now. That's cool to see. Vertonghen, love to see that. I know Tony's got a bit of Vertonghen love. Tio Leone. Now, this guy, Harry, I've seen him on content everywhere. I've seen him on your channel. I've seen him on Sorare TV. I've seen him on Sorare Data. I've seen this guy everywhere. He's just been popping off. He was like one of these guys that got his cards for the first time this season. He's not got that many cards. He's under 23 still, I think, just.
Now, yeah.
And
he's like 23 or 24, yeah.
And he's been killing it.
He's basically he's like a late bloomer. Like he's been at Anderlecht for years. He's just never had a chance because he's basically quite small and not very athletic. It's basically what they're trying to say. So not athletic, but he's just not that big, basically. And he's
and
just
that front three,
chance,
mate. That front three, I get such a high opinion of Hazard and Dolberg when they were much younger coming through in reputational stories. So this Anderlecht team feels like it's becoming a wee stack again all of a sudden because I can easily see us looking at power rankings going forward and Hazard and Dolberg are AAA strikers once they've, maybe just got the extra bit between them. Looks like Hazard's getting there with an L5 of 74. But let's see Dolberg maybe catch up to him. And this, with striking's there as well. Vertonghen, Leone, Schmeichel. That's a good stack.
Let's not forget, Yari Vasharan is back playing football games after 8 months.
They've got Thomas Delaney in midfield as well.
Yeah, he doesn't really play all the time, but yeah, they do have him.
Some quality about
team,
yeah. Now this team, I didn't think they were going to be whipping boys because this is a team that's backed by Chelsea and Strasbourg and all that, isn't it? Or is it the team that's backed by Lyon and somebody?
Leon, yeah, because Jeff ran at Adelaide.
Is it? Oh yeah, Lyon. So who is it that Lyon's tied in with in the Prem again? It's not Chelsea, is it? Because Chelsea or Strasbourg.
I actually don't know.
I can't remember who it is either. So Shutuabi, I won his card one time. That's funny to see him.
Okay.
Abner, don't know who he is, but
Messier was a Belgium League god, Xavier Messier. Oh
yeah, of course. Mercier, yep. How can I forget? Mukhtar Guy up front. Jeff Rennie Adelaide is a fallen star. But yeah, I didn't think they were going to be whipping boys because USG, I thought they were going to be whipping boys when they got promoted, but they weren't, and they were well backed by Brighton and such, And I thought this team might have been a bit of a USG character, but they do seem to be the whipping boy so far this season. Anderlecht should deliver here, shouldn't they?
Yeah, just looking at Sven's comment at Yari off the bench now. He's playing for the reserves, to be fair, today or tomorrow. So now he won't be involved in the squad yet, but he is playing football games like he played over the international break and whatever. So yeah, one to keep an eye on. Yeah.
I've seen a few comments for Tottenham stuff as well, and Eric Dyer. I don't know if it's the same guy, so we'll get it done. Neil, thanks very much for the comment. Tottenham got this is one of the good matches of the weekend. We've got Tottenham playing Aston Villa.
Yeah.
So Eric Dyer's on 60% here, which I think somebody mentioned in the comments. I think this will be the team, to be honest with you. They're quite limited in defensive options. I think they're quite limited in all options, really, to be honest with you. I don't really see if these guys are fit and available how he picks any other team than this, to be quite honest with you, because Villa, this is going to be, for me, I'm going to call it, Villa are going to destroy Tottenham in this game. And I'm a big Ange fan and all the rest of it, but Aston Villa are more often than not scoring more than 3 goals a game. And with the exception of, I think, the Burnley match, Tottenham have not scored more than 2 goals a game even when Maddison was fit and all the rest of it. You know, so I don't see Tottenham. I don't see them scoring more than a goal in this game, and I can't see Villa scoring less than 2 or 3. Really, the way this game's going to shake out. So I think this is going to be. It's going to be a good one for Villa, I think, against the odds, perhaps. But that's what when I look at this game, I can't see anything other than 3-1, 4-2, something like that to the Villa.
I don't know. I think if it was at Villa Park, I would probably tend to agree with you. I'm not saying they won't win away. I don't know. I agree with you. I don't think Tottenham are going to score many goals in this game. No, Maddison's massive for them, or massive miss. Yeah, Gaza says Villa's away. I don't know, that Villa team's really strong or whatever. At home, yeah, I back them. But away, I'm not as confident. I don't know. There's just not many goals in that Tottenham team, I'll be honest. There's not. Kulu can't score in a brothel. You obviously got Son. Son's there, of course. But, Brennan's obviously coming to the side. Yeah, let's see what he can do in a run of games. You know, I'm a big Brennan fan. But, that midfield isn't scoring a goal. Do you know what I mean? There's not goals in that team. I'm being honest. Porro could pop up with something, with a bit of magic. But you're asking for a lot in that sense. You're basically just looking for Son at every point. I don't know. I think there is a lack of goals in that Tottenham team right now, and defensively they're weak as well. So there's no better time to play them. I think
Watkins,
I'm going to go
Diaby,
2-1 Villa.
Mate, this is going to be a big one. I can just feel it's going to be a lot of goals in this one, and it's going to be for Villa, I think. So I'm looking forward to it. And let's see how it shakes out, But I just think that defence, because Ange's going to play Ange ball, there's just no getting away from it. And if you're going to get high on the pitch with Dyer and Davis against Watkins and Diaby, it's just, I don't know. I can't see Villa scoring less than 2. I just don't see it. And I can't see Tottenham scoring more than 2. So it cannot be a Villa win.
2-1 Villa. Yeah,
2-1 to the Villa. Be a bit more conservative than me, saying 4-2 or something there. Love it. 3-1.
What Jack just said, it could be a 0-0. Weird world, honestly.
Nah. No chance. No chance in a month for Sundays.
I don't
know.
chance.
Because there's not I
can see Tottenham not scoring. So it's just, can Villa score? That is a question. That is a
no question for me about that. No question at all. No question at all that Villa get goals in this game. Okay. Don't really care that it's away, to be honest with you, in this one. It's after an international break. I know there's a lot of internationals in this team. But I don't know. I just think Villa are at such a good point in the season right now. Like I say, more often than not, they score more than 3 goals a game. And that's across all competitions. They're playing midweeks as well and such, And maybe some of the opponents are a bit weaker midweeks, whatever. But
they never keep a clean sheet, by the way, though. If you have a look on Sorare data. Villa,
I can see Tottenham getting a goal. Yeah. Tottenham can score.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2-1. I'm either going 2-1, lads, or 0-0 with Jack Doyle.
Now, I've got. I'm kind of going to come on to the Premier League here because we've got the 500k giveaway on Sorare this game week, where you can play free entries in any scarcity. There's a lot of money on the cards, whatever. But also on the channel, guys, I've got a giveaway to do, and I've also got something cool to do this weekend, right? So I'll tell you about the giveaway first of all, right? Newcastle playing Chelsea this weekend, right? But next weekend, I'll come on to full screen for this, right? Next weekend, Newcastle are playing in one of, I think, is the best Premier League fixtures for a neutral. If you're a neutral Premier League fan, one of the best fixtures that there is in Premier League lore is Newcastle Man United. There's just no getting away from it. It's one of the games where you think about emotion, blood and guts coming from the stands, from the touchlines, on the pitch, everything, no matter what season, but particularly if you're my age group, maybe it's a wee bit more like that, the Bobby Robson era and Alan Shearers and all this kind of stuff. But so I'm going to go to St James's Park. I'm going to be there at the game, thanks to Sorare, and I've got a couple of tickets to give away. I've got 2 tickets to give away to St James's Park next Saturday, 2nd of December, 8 o'clock kickoff, Saturday in Newcastle. One of them's going to be given away after this stream finishes. I've got a wee Newcastle video because you've probably seen the Premier League had a vote about can you loan people in from in your club ownership stuff? You've probably seen that, and it didn't get passed in. So Newcastle, if they want in January, they can go into Saudi Arabia and loan in whoever they want, and no one can give them in trouble for it. So I made a wee video looking at everyone that they could maybe bring into their squad, went through who's likely, who makes sense, who's possible, who's practical, what I think would be good, all that good stuff. And one of the tickets will be given away to a random comment in that video. That video will go live after the stream today. I've already put a post out on Instagram. There's a link to my Instagram account in the description of the video today. And I'll also be giving one of the tickets away to somebody on Instagram that gets involved in the Instagram post as well. I'll reference it again in the stream in case anyone wants to get involved. But if you're in the UK, especially in Europe, anywhere in the world, and you want to come to Newcastle v Man United, there's 2 tickets on offer, one here and one on Instagram. So all the winners will be announced this time next week on the deadline show. We'll do it right here at the same point. And hopefully, it'll be my St. James's Park debut, which will be good. I tried to get to Newcastle, Nottingham Forest last season, Harry Boy, but I couldn't make it. I think you went and had a great old time. So I missed out on it, seeing Newcastle last year. I want to see them this year. And Man United, Newcastle, let's say, it's just one of the fixtures that if you could pick a clean anything fixture to go and see in Premier League history, for a neutral, you want to see good fans, you want to see good stuff on the pitch, you know it's going to be box office. Newcastle, Man United for me. So we'll have a look at the Newcastle team because they play Chelsea this game week and they are injury stricken at the moment, and that's why they need all of these loans from Saudi Arabia. Livermento's coming in at right back, Trippier is moving over to left, and it looks like it's still going to be Lascelles and Schär. I don't think there's any concrete details on the Botman injury, but they're saying it's a significant injury, but we don't know. There's no real time scale on it, but the feeling is it's months, not weeks, kind of thing. So we still see Lascelles and Schär in here. In midfield, it's going to be Bruno and Joe Linton coming back from Brazil to partner Joe Willock in midfield here. And the front three, apparently Eddie Howe was quite coy on Alexander Isak's availability and stuff. So I don't know if he is 60%. I'm not sure the last time this was updated. It was updated, like an hour ago, so it probably is decent info right now. But I do think that was something I seen earlier today, was Eddie Howe was rather coy or standoffish around Isak's either attendance in training or eligibility for the match. So maybe double check that on Twitter, but does look like he's preferred to start. And I also had a video out on the channel this week, Harry Boy. I don't know if you caught it, probably not, but I do think that Chelsea, people have been giving them a lot of praise for the last 2 matches, beating 9-man Tottenham 4-1, drawing 4 each with Man City, and talking about how Pochettino's got them clicking. And I just think it's a real false dawn for Chelsea. I do think they're missing still some bits and pieces. So I do think that Newcastle, as much as they are really on the ropes now, they're at threadbare defence, they're really stretched, you've not got much ammo on the bench to really change the game or keep it going for 90 minutes. Chelsea are in goal-scoring form now. They will be dangerous, but I don't think they're a mighty team for Newcastle to really fear this game week. What do you think of the match?
No, I completely agree. It's a massive game for both teams, but I mean, Chelsea are going into it with a decent amount of confidence. They've scored goals in the most recent games, and I mean, Reece James being fit, everyone's sort of coming back to fitness, apart from probably Chilwell. I think they'll give them a good game. I wouldn't be too afraid of them if I'm Newcastle, but they've got some real good players in there, and Gallagher, Palmer, Sterling on his day. Obviously, Caicedo and Enzo probably haven't been unbelievable, but that front four, I know I'm not a big Jackson fan, but there is goals and assists in that team. There just is. And the defense is, relatively okay. You're probably missing a Chilwell. And I mean, I don't know. It's hard. It's actually a tough one to call because Newcastle aren't at full strength. So it's an interesting one. It really is. Like you said, Isak situation, maybe up front, we don't know. A lot of 70%, 50% is in there. Be nice to see Tino play against his ex-club as well. So that could be a little omen. Maybe a Tino Livramento goal or an assist for those bettors out there. But I think there'll be goals. I'm predicting goals. I'm going to say 3-2 Newcastle.
Oh, take a win for the Geordies. Yeah. I think I could see this being just like the City game in the sense of because Newcastle want to play the way Chelsea want to play as well. So they're just going to counter-attack each other probably for 90 minutes until they run out of steam. And I think I would probably give the victory to Newcastle on the strength of I think the goalkeeper's better. I think Pope is more likely to keep Newcastle going than Sanchez is for Chelsea. So I probably, if I did have to pick a winner, I probably would go Newcastle and do it at home. But I do think this is going to be 2 each or something like that. I think it will be a draw, like the City game, where it'll be a bit huff and puff. Maybe towards the end, both teams will just kind of go, right, draw. Let's just calm down now, see the last 5 minutes out and try and go home in one piece,
Yeah.
So 2 each is what I'm kind of getting from this one. A lot of opinion coming in on this one for sure. The tickets, I believe, will be in the Newcastle end, by the way, for the giveaway, because I'm not going to go to St James's Park and hang out with the Man United fans. Come on. But the other part of that, Harry, is this weekend, I'm going to probably what is the best Premier League fixture of the modern era. And it's my third trip to the Etihad. I'm going to be there to see City at home in Liverpool. Now, I'm really excited about this, Harry, because I've been to the Etihad twice already. I've been to the Premier League to see just a normal game against Southampton. It was rubbish. It was 0-0, by the way. And the atmosphere was everything that people say about the Etihad. It was quiet, it was rubbish. There was no singing, there was no atmosphere. It was crap. I then went to see them in the Champions League. Now, granted, it was the second leg against Sporting Lisbon. The aggregate was like 45-0 or something. So it was a bit of a... Scott Carson played, you know. It was one of those games. Again, 0-0. The atmosphere was terrible. Sporting Lisbon fans, but were incredible. They made lots of noise for 90 minutes in the away end, and that was great. But that really saddens me. I've supported City since 99, 98, something like that. And I love the fact that Main Road used to be like Man City had all the fans in Manchester, you know, and it used to be like Main Road was like well supported even in the lower leagues and all that kind of thing. So the whole stereotypes never made sense to me. And when I see that in person, it's always made me sad. So I'm going to this game, and there is no chance that the atmosphere can be crap at this game, surely. Surely this has got to be the best the Etihad gets, is at home to Liverpool, early season 6-pointer, where the title, you know, is going to be between probably Liverpool and City as time goes on. So I'm buzzing for it. I'm made up for it. And it looks like we're going to have Akanji in midfield rather than John Stones, which is funny to see. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you know I'm going to the game, which is good fun. Wish me luck, and I hope I have a good time and all that good stuff. And hopefully it'll be the first City game I've been to that's not 0-0. So it's the only like jinx factor I've ever had in my football life is going to see City and it being 0-0. So hopefully we break that this week. Harry, City Liverpool, what do you think of it?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I got to watch Liverpool play, what was that, 2 weeks ago now against Brentford. At home, obviously different caliber of opposition and whatever. So, yeah, this will be a different test for that Liverpool team because Brentford had chances. Like, Liverpool were left open in areas. So, like, yeah, I see a Man City win, which is probably not, you know, rocket science to work out, I would say, being at home. Does Liverpool score? Yeah, I'd fancy Liverpool to score a goal. I'm going to hope there's goals for you, Quinny. I'm going to say 3-1 City. Yeah, I think there'll be decent amount of goals there. Good Liverpool team. Like, they are good to watch. But I don't know.
It's the fullbacks, but isn't it? It's the fullbacks you look at. You just think if they're going to set that 5-man attack on Liverpool, like the wide areas are where it's probably going to be won and lost, you know.
And like, if you go in Jones, McAllister, and Szoboszlai, like it's quite attacking, isn't it? Like, are we not worried that, you know, that 5 of Man City kind of overrun that, you know, back 4 of Liverpool, but even the midfield, like Szoboszlai works hard and whatever, like he can do defensive stuff. I'm not saying he can't, but like, you know, that middle 3 is there to probably keep the ball. Are they going to keep the ball against City? I don't think so.
I'm with you on that one. I hope it's goals galore as well. XG on this has it probably been 2-1 to City, give or take. I would like to think it's like more of a 3-2, a 4-1. You know, hopefully it's action end to end. So yeah, Haaland's on to start. I did think coming into this game week, he might have been a question mark because he did have an injury on international duty with Norway. He didn't play against Scotland, but it looks like he's fine to Liverpool, which is fine for Pep and City, I suppose. Foden on 65% is probably the most questionable one. Maybe it's Grealish who comes in. Maybe Rico Lewis plays over Akanji. But the rest of the team, Pep Roulette seems to be kind of well known. They reckon there's a bit of a chance. It's only 65% for Ederson. So maybe there's a wee banana peel there if you can't avoid. I don't know.
Yeah, because he didn't play for Brazil, did he, over the break? Alisson was in goal. So yeah, I don't know, mate. That's definitely something to look into, isn't it?
Yeah, Doku versus Trent is what I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing Doku in person. I've never seen Haaland in person. I've never seen Liverpool in person, like this iteration of Liverpool, certainly. But the first time I've seen Van Dijk in a while, that'd be cool.
Alvarez in person as well, maybe?
Yeah, all of them, yeah. Oh no, well, when did I see? Yeah, I've seen some of these City players, like some of the like Walker, Foden, Bernardo. I've seen some of those guys before Ederson, but so yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I say it's the best Premier League kind of fixture of the current times, isn't it? So I'm buzzing for it. Should be a good weekend
100%.
for me. I'm looking forward to it.
I hope it's not 0-0 for you, Quinny. I really do, mate.
Mate, by the way, somebody should stick a quid on it and have a laugh about it, you know.
You've got to do it, yeah.
I'm not, but
yeah,
if you do think the jinx is in, if you think the jinx is in, it's maybe worth a quid. Another thing, in the Premier League, is there another fixture that we think might play some sort of significance in the Premier League Sorare competition, in the 270s or 220s, anything like that? Everton, Man United. I see a lot of Wolves. I see in the Sorare's thread. Sorare put a tweet out this morning, Harry, and it was like, "Who are you captaining for the Premier League thing?" And see all the first 5 posts. It was Wolves stacks.
I mean, yeah, there can't be many good Sorare players, then, is there, on Twitter? Because,
well, I don't know, mate.
I mean, they're not the stack this weekend, are they? Let's be honest. Away to Fulham, like, I'm not saying it's terrible, but like, it's not the apex stack, is it, in any way? No Neto, best player. Like, who are you really picking out of that team, realistically, that's like...
I think it's just because they're all mad cheap, but, you know, they're all super cheap. And if they win...
You don't need them all to be that cheap for 270, really. Do you know what I mean? Like, you might need a player or two, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
I don't know, yeah. But like, what I was going to get at, like, a lot of the fixtures this weekend are like a lot of the sort of lower teams playing against lower teams outside of like the Liverpool Man City game.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's I wouldn't be surprised if one of the, like a Palace Luton, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the guy who wins, or, you know, the top 10 this weekend, especially because Liverpool are playing City. I'm not saying City won't score well, but I do think you'll see some teams at the top of that leaderboard in every scarcity, like just teams that, you know, aren't the sort of top 10, I guess, like Palaces and maybe a Wolves, maybe a Fulham. Like, there will be the odd player from those teams, you know, contributing. I don't think it'll be like half City stack, half Tottenham stack. Like, I just don't see it. I think it'll be dominated by like some of those sort of lower, maybe, a few West Ham players will definitely be in there. Ward-Prowse, away to Burnley. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a very good fixture. West Ham, I think it's one of the people... I think West Ham and Palace are the 2 match day 1 choices of this tournament, you know, on paper. Although they're both away, their opponents you're expecting 2 or 3 goals against, you know, so depending on the... You know, and I don't think the Palace teams look stronger this season. Olise and Eze starting this game is what it looks like. Doucouré has been quality. Yes. He's one of these guys that is L15 and L5 could quickly, let's see if this team happens, like, he could quickly be over 60. Yeah, so many good players in here. And Andy Laird said it best for me, but Joachim Anderson plays football like he knows Sorare. You know, he just plays balls into the final third constantly, man. So
he's not stupid, is he?
He doesn't feel like it. And, you know, it's all about Odsonne Edouard. I don't think he's looked so good since pre-COVID times. I was saying before the international break, he looks mean, he looks lean, he looks out there to kill. He got a goal before the break there as well. L1547 could be a decent wee striker option. We've seen some good options today, much cheaper, right enough. Maybe even Eze at 55 for a guy that's like quite powerful. Sheffield United overlooked at Bournemouth at home. Now, I'm a bit of a fan, Mike. I'm not a bit of a fan, right? But I was quite lenient on Sheffield earlier this season, but I really struggled to go in on this one, to be honest with you. Like,
it's just set up to just draw games, isn't it? Like, I just don't see a...
I like this for Bournemouth better than I do Sheffield.
Yeah, so do I, definitely. There's more legs.
Christie's on the start. If Christie's in a deep line midfield position here, he should get way better AA than 4 points, which is what his L15 is indicating here, or 3 points. And again,
even very behind Kluivert. He might be behind, like a portion of him might be behind there. Yeah,
even better.
So like, probably plays in the 10, doesn't he? If he plays billing,
even
CDM.
Better. Yeah.
Get
into the box as well. Christie's quality for 39.
Like, yeah, it'll be a tight game, that Bournemouth-Chef game, but like, I don't see Chef scoring multiple goals against Bournemouth. I really don't.
XG has it at 1 each, maybe 2-1 Bournemouth, essentially, maybe 2-2 at a real push. It's kind of where it lies. I just don't see Sheffield winning games. And I just think, Bournemouth, I'm not a huge fan of Solanke, or Clivert for that matter.
He's been good.
But I think like they're gelling, but Bournemouth, they are gelling. They are getting form. Like say Solanke's putting the ball in the net, and that's all you can really ask of him. So it doesn't really matter if you like him or not,
100%.
So I think Bournemouth have got more about them at the moment. So I'm probably more Bournemouth for once on that one. Bournemouth win that 2-3-0 easy, says DT. Eze on pens and corners is big from Stish.
David does have a Bournemouth stack, so I will have to preface that. Sorry, Dave, I've had to out you there, but I think they'll win. I think Bournemouth will win that game. I don't know if it'll be that easy, but and I hope they do smash it for you, mate. Obviously, of course I do.
And then this game has been in the spotlight quite a lot because Ramsdale is the cheat code goalkeeper, and it's like, it might not be that great. And it's kind of like, well, there's so many people at Limited that are tied on to a Ramsdale score. At rare, less, and it's super rare, obviously probably non-existent, So for the 220 for the Premier League modes, let's just, for rare, it's probably, still actually quite apparent for 220, maybe not the Premier League competition. So I don't mind that, but for where I'm using mine, and I don't think you should for wherever you're using yours, because all these competitions are multi-entry, and especially for the 221, you want to get a good score to rack in for one of four at any opportunity, because like we mentioned in the prelude to the show, like forecasting the 220 competition in the lineup builder is nigh on impossible, so don't even bother. So take the wins when they come to you. So how good a game is this for Arsenal? They're away to Brentford. It looks like Jesus is maybe going to make it back. Otherwise, the team looks relatively full strength. Odegaard's back from concussion protocol. Tomiyasu probably plays over White, is what the thinking is here, against a Brentford team who I am always impressed with whenever I watch them. They're a really good, 6 to 7 out of 10 Premier League outfit. They play their game against the opponent. They maximise their own strengths when they can, and they're never mugged off by anyone. So what do we think of this game?
Yeah, getting to watch Brentford, away to Liverpool a couple of weeks ago was interesting. They're no mugs. They've got two guys up front who will work all day long on the counter. Obviously 5 at the back, or 3-5-2, whatever, 5-3-2. 3 midfielders that work hard and can kind of retain the ball, when they're in possession, and they can kind of bank up when they don't. So we're going to have to assume that Arsenal, dominate in possession in this game. But Brentford are at home, so they will give a good account of themselves. I don't think they'll be scared of this Arsenal team, definitely. And Ramsdale coming in, obviously, I've played him for my 220. I want him to do well and stuff, but he's back in goal. There's big pressure on that, big pressure. Although it's not on merit, it's just because Raya can't play. So it's one of them awkward ones, isn't it? As a goalkeeper, as any player, I guess. But yeah, mate, honestly, I don't know. The odds are quite high for Brentford there. I'm not saying they're going to turn Arsenal over, but a draw wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. Obviously, Jesus doesn't score goals. He's come out and said he doesn't his scoring goals isn't his favorite thing to do in the world as a number 9, which is probably not what you should come out and say, but it's obvious, isn't it? He's just not a natural goal scorer. He works very hard as a 9 and brings a lot to the table outside of that. But as a 9, I want my 9 to be scoring goals, and Buemo, Wisa score they score goals. They do, and I think at home they could rattle Arsenal a little bit here. I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm gonna say a little boring London game.
A little boring draw. That'd be good for.
I don't know.
It'd be good for the goalkeepers if they get some action. Yeah, if they,
Yeah.
Good to see Christopher Ayers nailing his spot in. L15, 13 played. Also includes a bit of internationals as well. But Christopher Ayer can do anything. And it looks like he's getting in the team now alongside me and Pinnock, which is lovely for me to see on a wee personal one. So yeah, I thought I was for that game in there because we're all looking at Arsenal, I think, for the goalkeeper. And if Ramsdale pulls off a boss score, then everyone will be super glad they played him in 220, especially. Man United, 100%. Do we look at? Not that bored, but Man United. But let's maybe have a look at them.
A big game for Everton with obviously the off-field situations, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. Wait for this to load. What time are we at? Oh, we're 45 minutes away to the deadline. Now, after we do this, I'll give away the Raheem Sterling, and I'll show you the other limiteds I'll give away to you guys, and then we can get into the final segment of the show before we get to the deadline. I'm giving away a ticket to see Newcastle versus Man United on my YouTube, and I'm giving a ticket to see Newcastle versus Man United on my Instagram. we'll talk about the details of that again later on. But that's next Saturday. So if you want to go see Newcastle at home to Man United, we've got a nice wee ticket giveaway on the channel. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, here is Man United away to Everton. And this is probably the worst time to play Everton. Is right after this 10 points deduction that they've just received. Like you say, Harry Boy, decent starting 11, not that glamorous, but you know, they're good enough. And Man United are just struggling every week. It feels like there's a new headline. I'm reading this morning about Varane and Eric Ten Hag. It's now, that's it, the relationship's broken. And it's like, this is Rafa Varane, man. He's won 5 Champions Leagues or whatever, the World Cup. And like, man, what's going on? You know, Lindelof and Maguire.
Mate, it is nuts. Like, there's just been so many fallings out, hasn't there, over this like Ten Hag period, like Sancho and I'm not saying it's all like, I don't know whose fault it is. Majority, it could be the players, it could be, you know, all on the manager. I don't really know, but like, yeah, it's just not a good time to be a Man United player right now, is it? Rashford with that shocking L5, like there's players that you want to be stepping up outside of Bruno or just aren't, and it's just like McTominay, Bruno, and that's kind of it, isn't it? Like, look at those L5s and 15s of the top sort of 3: Rashford, Højlund, and Anthony. It's stinking, isn't it? And yeah, with Everton sort of off-field stuff, this is, you know, a time where, you know, the whole club will be buzzing, not buzzing, but like, you know, they'll be up for this game more so than they ever would. And like, yeah, it would not surprise me if Everton turn United over, to be honest.
Yeah, totally. And do you remember how excited they were to sign Amrabat, as if he was going to be the answer? Like, we need to get Sofiane Amrabat. We need to get a guy in like Sofiane Amrabat who can just do all this deep lying playmaker stuff, because he plays for Fiorentina and he's so good. He was so good in the World Cup for 5 minutes, and yeah, maybe he will be good and all the rest of it, but he's not the level of guy Man United should be buying, you know. So yeah, they're in disarray.
Wow, yeah.
Lindelof and Maguire are back in. Maybe Johnny Evans comes in because he's now preferred over maybe Shaw's back in fit. It's just,
yeah, Shaw is training, to be fair, yeah.
But yeah, they need a lot of help, and yeah, this should be a good game,
isn't it?
Yeah, this should be a good Premier League match, if you know what I mean. Like, I expect the likes of Doucouré here, Calvert-Lewin, they'll be going out hoping to like make a name for themselves in a match like this. You know, go and win the game, score the goal, you know, make the difference, because, you know, after the 10-point deduction, there will be that rallying, that kind of effect at Goodison. There's no two ways about it. Goodison's known for its atmosphere anyway. And yeah, you know, good from set pieces as well. Guys like Tarkowski might even affect it. But yeah, I think it could be like a 2 each draw, maybe a 2-1 Everton. XG has it probably at 2 each, maybe 1 each. It's kind of in between the two. I don't rate either goalkeeper, so I don't think Pickford or Onana are going to be doing you many favours. Maybe the Man United defence is slightly worse. So yeah, maybe it's an Everton win. But yeah, not a good time for Man United.
It's hard to get up for United right now, isn't it? And back them.
Big time. So I'm going to get the comment picker.
Yeah.
And we're going to give away a Raheem Sterling YouTube comment picker.
How much is he going for, by the way? I'm sure he's quite expensive.
Can I give you the screen, Harry, and you can do something interesting like that? Shows where Sterling's at, what he's all about.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
And we'll give this guy away.
Here we go. L5 of 63. Wow, look at that in the last month. So, that's in rare, but I'm sure it'll be a similar thing in limited. So yeah, he was going for like 17 quid.
That's when I got him. It was like 20, 25 quid.
And then he, to be fair, he dipped, by the way. So what's he going for here? 10 quid? Jesus Christ. So in like November 6th, he was like 11 quid. And now he peaked at 45 like last week. And now he's at like 40 quid. He's basically 4x in price. That's actually nuts, really, isn't it? I know it's, you know, the cash comp and whatever, but like that's crazy for me, genuinely.
It's mad. I've got the link for the video. Awesome. Close this advert, right, and then let's share
2
this
tab
tab
in the last
instead.
2 against Tottenham and City, by the way.
He's coming good. He's out there to prove it. So we asked for a random comment on the tutorial on the channel for the beginner's tutorial for Sorare. Add comment replies, all this other stuff. 4 + 4 is 8. Add theme color. Duration. Let's ramp it up to, what did we like last time? 12 seconds. We've got one winner. Get the comments loaded. 52 of these have entered, right? So there's 52 of these. I'll contact you. Hopefully get this sterling shipped to you before the deadline. Thanks to everyone that supported the beginner's tutorial. We might do another giveaway on that tutorial, so feel free to check it out. And see what I didn't put in the channel. That's what I'm looking for. Something additional to what's in the video you would offer as a top tip. Who is going to win a Raheem Sterling Premier League limited card, Harry boy?
This is big. This is real big, honestly.
The 12-second build-up is a nice bit of suspension. You can see all the comments coming in. Patrick C. Nice, mate. Great beginners video. My advice would be buy a small amount of quality players rather than a larger amount of poorer quality players. Thumbs up to you, my man. Patrick C. Thanks a lot for entering the competition. I'm away to get in touch with you now. And we'll try and get that sterling to you rapid. Thanks very much, mate.
That's a big, big win, that is, honestly. £40 limited card. Premier League. Brand new. 3D. Yeah, that's honestly a really nice win.
If you're here in the live chat, let it be known. I'd love to give you a wee congrats. But let's see if I can find you. And then while I'm doing this, we've got 2 other cards to give away. We'll give in the live chat. Harry boy, I've not thought of a question. Have you thought of a question, maybe?
I don't have one off the top of my head, but I could come up with one. Let's have a look. Okay, I've got one if you want.
Okay, wait for it. Wait for me to finish up with getting back to this guy. So many entries, guys. Thanks to everyone that supported it, by the way. I can't bother and find him. Patrick C. Patrick C. Sorry, mate. Right, okay.
Was that a Twitter giveaway? You got it?
No, YouTube. 2 seconds. Sorry, I'm going to have one more pass. And then, so, do you want to start off, Harry, by telling us what the format of the answer is going to be?
Yes, but let me just double check before I get my facts wrong. But it'll be a number, if that helps. Okay, no, yeah, I've got it. So this doesn't require a decimal.
Oh, okay.
So just a raw number. And do you want me to say the question now, or you want to wait?
Let me tell you what you're going to get first, right? So, okay. I still have 2 other limiteds to give away. They're not that exciting, okay? But one of them might play this week, so we'll give him away first. He's a wee bit more fun. And I won him recently, or won him kind of half recently, and I've just never got around to giving him away. But he might play this game week. I don't know how likely it is, but it's a Daniel Steres at the Houston Dynamo. So we've got an MLS card there. We'll be giving away. They've got a cup. They've got a playoff match. Don't think he's not a regular, but he might play. I think he's on like 30% or 40% behind somebody, maybe 50%. So we'll give him away. So Harry boy, what is the question for the YouTube live chat?
Okay, so Nico Williams scored for Wales against Turkey. What was his Sorare score this midweek?
Oh, that's funny. Nico Williams
scored against Turkey. Sorry, this midweek. What was his Sorare score?
Let me catch up on the chat before that comes in case the winner's here. I forgot to check that as well. I found the winner now, but as well. That's fine.
I've got a winner, I think.
Love it.
I think on my screen, I'm seeing... So 61 is the correct answer. And I've seen Jonathan.
Oh.
Israel. With the first 61 on my screen. And Ben 10 was 62 just above him. Very unlucky. And then, yeah, Jamie Perkins had 61 then. Was the second 61.
Yeah.
Very unlucky.
Jonathan was first for me, then Jamie Perkins, then Ian. Oh, so close. So, yeah, Jonathan, congratulations, mate. We'll get that shipped over to you, buddy. And I've got another card to give away. And I'll think about a wee question for this one, and we'll maybe give it away in a couple of minutes. But we've got a ball and golly to give away. So if you've got a Celtic Limited collection, maybe it'll help you out. He is kind of not really playing in Belgium. And yeah, I don't really like him. He's not worth very much. He's worth less than £1, but we'll be giving him away. And I'll think of a wee question to do that with shortly. So, and then we've got the Sterling rewarded today as well. And guys, I've gave away a Yves Bissouma. He's not been claimed yet. I'm going to give it another couple of days. And if it goes unclaimed, then we'll see what happens with the Bissouma. But we've got the 3D Sterling. He's ready to get shipped out. Thanks to everyone that supported that giveaway. And we've got Yves Bissouma. See the horny wing back coming in there. I see Tony Cassidy, fist bump, my man. Good to see you. And how do we change out our common cards these days? Stish is asking. So Stish, if you want to change your commons, you just go into the pro section here on screen like you see, and the common stuff should just be here, and the only option you have is swap, unless you've used it up. Now, I've noticed, Harry, that they've changed it to you've only got one swap as the default, not two, like you used to have.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had to make 2 to get Ramsdale in because he's L15 or his cap cost. The cap cost I had, blah blah blah.
45, isn't it? Yeah.
It didn't work out the same. So I had to go and spend 100 coins on a Premier League swap to get an extra one in. So it's just here at the top. The only button available to you swap. You only get one. Maybe you need to go and buy a second one to get some coins in for the cap. But it's only crime being horny. Who's this we're talking about? Is it Nico Williams?
I don't know. I think it's that.
A ball and golly. Ball and golly, yeah. Who would you play in under 23 forward, Harry boy? Rodrigo or Take? Oh, this is a question for me, by the way. I've got both of them. I went with Rodrigo. Rodrigo's the better play this week.
Yeah, who does Sociedad play? Are they at home?
At home to Seville.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Seville
I think I'd go Kubo, you know.
I think so.
Yeah, I'd go Kubo. I can't lie. Even though I'm a Rodrigo sort of fan or whatever, and I'm a big Kubo fan, but I do own a Rodrigo. Yeah, no, I'd go Kubo, genuinely.
I might change my Kubo.
Sevilla is rotten. Not the Cadiz aren't, but like Jack says, did Rodrigo. Yeah, so basically Rodrigo came off that game against Argentina with a bit of knee pain, but like he got looked at this morning or yesterday, and he's fine. Well, not fine, but like he's just a bit of a niggle. So he's going to train apparently today or tomorrow and both. And yeah, play Sunday, is it when they play? But yeah, he's fine. Apparently he's going to start, like he's going to play from what I've seen on the Real Madrid accounts.
Aye. I've been there as well, getting all that sorted. Loving the Instagram interactions, by the way, guys. Anyone that's been getting involved in that. I'm going to Newcastle. I'm making my St James's Park debut next week, 2nd of December. Newcastle home at Man United. I'm giving away a ticket. There's a Newcastle video going live on the YouTube channel here at Quinny 3001 as soon as this live stream finishes in 32 minutes from now. When that video, because it's scheduled, it'll be like a premiere. So watch it, have a bit of fun with it if you can. Enjoy your Friday. Leave a comment on it, and a random person on the Deadline show next week will be coming to St James's Park with me to watch Man United at Old Trafford. And I'm also giving a ticket away as well on Instagram. The link to my Instagram is in the description of this video. It's at Quinny 3001 with an underscore at the end. Can you believe there was already a Quinny 3001 on Instagram? But so yeah, go and find the right account, support the post. We're giving away 2 tickets. We might get some more tickets to give away, by the way. Sorry, I did say that might happen. So we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. So yeah, get involved in the ticket giveaway so far, and there might be some more. Tap your screen, top of your screen where you build lineups. Oh, sorry, I think that's people helping each other out there as well. So yeah, big weekend. Man City tomorrow. We've got the cat modes. Harry boy, do you want to show us some teams? We're at that point of the stream where if there's any panic, is there any?
Yeah, we could do some teams.
If there's any requests for predicted lineups, by the way.
So where do we do in here? What we got cooking this weekend? So, like 220 has, came into the thought process a lot more than it obviously would normally. So that's definitely something that I'm focused on, but not. It wasn't like the first thing I built. Obviously, Rare Plus was the first thing I built, and I built this with Rodrigo in mind. So like, I'd like to go Rodrigo instead of Savio, honestly, but like, I just don't know if it's kind of worth the risk. I think Rodrigo plays, but yeah, it's an interesting one. Barry Allen in the playoffs, Sequay, nice home fixture, and then Big Owen Beck, best left back in Scotland. I'm hearing, and I don't normally go super rare goalkeeper in this competition, but my under 23 super rare lineup wouldn't be that good this weekend. I haven't got my unique on playing because he's in Portugal and stuff. So like I've brought it down a little bit and kind of brought him down, and then that meant that Bazanu then comes down to under 23 rare. Decent lineup. We're going to throw Rodrigo into that. This Cap 240 super rare was the second lineup I built, to be fair. Tough to fit in Maatsen because he's on fire right now, but I think you just need one smasher in this lineup at a minimum, as the captain. So he's gone in there at home to go ahead. And then Okubo's very low L15, so that meant that I could play the Maatsen, and then hopefully Cook gets cheeky little clean sheet away to Kortrijk. And this rare plus is something I never normally do, but like I have quite a few random rare cards that like good fixtures and kind of can score goals and whatever. And Timber's obviously on fire, and then hopefully the Uara boys can do the business at home defensively. 220's fun. Brennan's in there. Big Andy Moran, Balki, Nishikawa again. I managed to get 5% on my Uara boys, so I am now the biggest collector on Sorare when it comes to Uara cards. Yeah, so I managed to buy a few cards yesterday to pump that up. Throwaway 270. When I say throwaway, it just wasn't prioritized. They should all play in that sense, but it's just not
playing as fine
going to be enough. Yeah, exactly. 220 limited. Obviously done the Ramsdale glitch, hoping that the 4 outfielders can do the business there. And that is kind of 240. 240 should be fun-ish. If Ika Alvarez does play for VRL too, he's a very low cap, so I've sort of buffed that out then with 4 outfielders. And All-Star rare, is a throwaway, obviously, technically, if Verbruggen doesn't play, but if he does play, then great. And that's kind of what I'm looking at, to be fair. It's just a case of, can we hit a good score in 220 super rare? Can we, hit the captain in both caps? And then, any cards out of rare plus under 23, rare plus all-star and under 23 rare would be where I'm sort of fishing for cards, I'd say. So I'm buzzing for it, to be fair. Should be a good game week.
Yeah, and I seen this on Twitter earlier today, but it's Micah Pompey. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, mate. I hope you've liked the stream. Guys, there's only 59 of you. Hit the like button. There's hundreds of Sorare scouts and managers joining us across all the platforms. We've got to get to 100 likes, guys. Forget 67. You're basically there. We've got to get to 100. The deadline's almost here. Micah Pompey, I know he's got his birthday luck secured by liking the stream already. And you guys should do so as well, because, guys, 2 things as well. We've got some requests for lineups for Rapids Vienna, so I'll put that on screen now. There's Rapids Vienna's predicted lineup. But we also have, I love to see the generosity around this community, guys. Roland Richard here has just sent in a Manu Ryman goalkeeper. Too legit to quit this guy. He is a hero, right? So we can give him away. Can we get him away before the deadline? It's in 27 minutes. I'll think of another question. We've still got a ball and goalie, but we've got a Ryman now we can also give away. So thanks very much, Roland. Love your generosity. Thanks for supporting the channel, and thanks for supporting the content. It means a lot to me and Harry Boy. And then we had another one here from Johnny asking about the Genk defense. So let's go and peek that one up in case anyone's interested in some Genk. If you have any requests, shout them loud and proud, and we'll try and get them on.
Johnny's asking about Nathan Collins. He doesn't look like he's on the play sharper predictions for Brentford, so I wouldn't touch him, to be fair.
Those kind of settled for Genk for the most part.
Yeah, they'll play midweek, won't they? So they might have one eye sort of looking that way, but Liège aren't great at all. Happy
birthday, Mike. That's it. Love it. So the likes are flying in, guys. You need to get to 100 or you're all screwed. Need your help. Is Nathan called? Oh, yeah, you got that. Sorry, I'm just cracking through to catch up with everything. Hey up, H. Just get in there. Hey, Quinny. Fist bump. Good to see you. Standard Liège Stadium's the 25th anniversary. So maybe there's a wee bit of home space in this game. We've got a wee bit of detail here coming from Miguel. Thanks very much for that. Not sure if you've covered it, but what's your thoughts on Girona Bilbao? Now, I'm hyped for this one, Harry, because when we get to my teams, you'll see why. But I think it's not a great game, right? Bilbao are sitting in 5th position, but Bilbao are very boring to watch. They're kind of like, they've been all right. They've got some good players, but I don't think they're fifth in the league. They're not a top 5, top 7 team in the league. For me, I do think that as the season progresses, they'll come down a place or two, not too far, but they'll come down a bit. But Girona, the boys are the top collectors. I've got that signed shirt in the post. I think we mentioned that earlier, but they've been on fire this season. Top scorers in the league. And yeah, I think there's a few internationals in this squad, but there's not that many. So I think for the most part, the team will be in good nick, good fettle, normally perform well at home. The XG has this as maybe 2-1 to Girona, maybe 2 each. I think this could be a high scoring match, to be quite honest with you. Athletic Bilbao are going to defend the centre ground quite a lot. I think they'll give Girona a lot of the pitch to have possession in, and then they're looking to turn over and get the Williamses and try and cause some overloads when they can at set pieces and stuff. So I think it's a good game for Girona. I wouldn't go mad for it, depending on who you're looking at in the team. None of them are particularly cheap or expensive, except for Aliyesh, obviously, who's mad expensive. So none of them jump out as like, oh yeah, like he's a great pick or whatever.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be tight, but yeah, I'd assume Girona just nick it with the home advantage, I reckon.
Yeah. Let me go on Athletic. 2 seconds. Yeah, so where did... Yeah, 4 against Celta. What was the script for this? Celta Vigo game, the Villarreal game. Yeah, it came alive, those 2 matches. I remember, I think I must have caught... Yeah, I seen them Sociedad, Getafe. I seen them quite a bit early doors in the season. Betis. That game was a bit different. I seen them these 2 games here. That's probably really what's formed a lot of my opinion. I've maybe seen bits of the Barca game. I've not seen these other matches, I don't think. So, yeah, maybe they've improved slightly since I caught them anyway. Score prediction for Celtic, I'm going to go for 5-0. Wolves fan here, looking forward to watching the video. Thanks very much, mate. Fist bump. And yeah, good optimism for Wolves this week. I did say that earlier. I think Fulham's a good game for Wolves, hopefully to go and get some points so they've maybe dropped elsewhere. But good luck Wolves this week. Girona should have a good one as well. And what will we do to give away this Ryman? So Ryman is we've got him accepted now, so let's show him on screen. Manu Ryman, 34-year-old goalkeeper. Now, this guy might not look like much. His L15 is 47, but this guy is my type of goalkeeper. He plays at mid to bottom echelons kind of team, and he is a He is a saver. He can make saves. He's a good guy, really good goalkeeper. And yeah, sometimes they're going to get killed. They're going to concede more than 3 goals, but sometimes they don't. And when they don't, no, look at that. And a penalty save. That makes it a bit... 2 penalty saves, wow, makes it even easier against Leipzig. But he's a hero. He's a guy that can drop out a big score. And he's done this before. This isn't recent form that's given me this bias. He's done it throughout this kind of Bundesliga stretch he's had. He's a big AA goalkeeper, just not that many clean sheets come his way. So a nice one to win. You can win them. You can use them also in Champ Euro. You can use them in cap modes. All sorts of good stuff. So thanks very much, Ronald, for the donation here. And we're going to give them away now to one of you guys in the live chat. I'm just trying to think of an interesting question, but we've not went through anything that's questionable earlier in the stream. So how about... Oh, I've got a great question. Let me just go and get the right answer, but... Okay. So... Oh, I've just received an offer from Moldy. Thanks very much for your continued support, Moldy. I'll go and check that out in a second. Okay, cool. So they did their first collection bonus event. How many clubs were involved?
Ooh.
I want the number. I've just counted them. How many clubs were involved in the thing yesterday? How many separate clubs were named? Some numbers are coming in. Some of them are right. Some of them are wrong, but they're all flying in. This is going to be a good one, guys. I can't wait to see who's actually the first one in. So, Okay, cool. So I'll list them out for you, Harry boy. Do you want to keep counting with me?
Yeah, I'll try.
I'll go and find the right answer while we're doing it. So we had Atalanta, we had AS Monaco, we had Betis, we had Sevilla, we had Bologna, Cadiz, Empoli, Hellas Verona, Monza, Napoli, Rayo Vallecano, Salernitana, Sassuolo, Torino, Udinese, Valencia, Celta Vigo, Getafe, Girona, Osasuna, Mallorca, Strasbourg, Real Sociedad, and Villarreal. How many do we have, Harry?
24 by my calculations, but I could be wrong.
24 is the right answer. And the very first 24 I have on my screen. Oh, by the way, so many people are putting 25s. There's a 23 in there as well. The first one I see that's a 24 is a David Richards. David, congratulations, my man. I just want to double check if there's any duplicates in those two lists. If there's any team I missed. But no, that's
I've got Dave Richards at 24 as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to double check there isn't anyone right at the beginning that I maybe missed. But yeah, congratulations, David. You'll need to let me know. I think I think I do know your team name. I think it's like Die Rich or something, isn't it? Like DAI.
Oh, yeah. Die came to the Chelsea Tottenham game with me and Feder.
Oh, did he?
What a win. Yeah.
Well done. I think that's you, mate. So just confirm. If it is, I'll ship that over to you now, get it into your team for a deadline. You'll have a bit of a deadline sweat towards the end of it. And I'll come up with, it is Directional 5. That's us. Let me just double check. That is the team I won, isn't it? Yeah, it's, yeah. Awesome. And we're going to send you a Ryman. Oh, don't know if he should be there. Yeah, he is. Good. Ryman. Congratulations, mate. Thanks for entering. Thanks for supporting the stream today. Guys, we're only at 74 likes. Let's get to 100. Come on. Let's get the finger out here. Moldy's also gave us something to give away, I think, as well. Wow. Guys, we're at 74 likes. Moldy is giving away a Callum Wilson 3D card in season Newcastle. Moldy, thanks very much for your generous support to the stream today. It means the world to me and Harry. And guys, want to use Premier League 3D Wilson. Now, we're not too sure what's happening with Isak. He was 60% on its start. We can't forget the ball and golly. Jack Doyle, we will give away ball and golly as well. I know you're itching for that. But we now have, Moldy, honestly, I'm so taken aback. What a generous last-minute reward to throw out there. Now, is Callum Wilson like injured is the next thing I'm thinking about. Is this a wee put in your gallery guy for later? Or is this cross your fingers that Isak doesn't start play? I'm not too sure.
Let's have a look.
No, I don't think Wilson's in the reckoning. I'm pretty sure he's maybe, I thought that was something. I think he's maybe injured for a couple of weeks. So very generous, all the same. But maybe you don't need to rush him into your team. You definitely won't be rushing him into your team for the deadline. But yeah, fantastic, Moldy. Thanks very much, mate. Love to see 3D Premier League Limiteds getting dished out on the channel. Yeah, Hammy, out for a few weeks. So that's fine. So a wee bit of Premier League winter action, you can get him in. And by then, it's L15's 44 now. It's L15, yeah, when those 80s come away, if they're in the L15, maybe they're just about there. Could get a wee bit more. So yeah, that's a fun one. Now, I'm not too sure on the question for this one.
Can you make it Newcastle related somehow?
Oh, could we make it Newcastle related? Okay, I think we can. Let me go and get the right answer. And again, it's going to be a number, something nice and easy. So currently, Newcastle United, they've got a lot of injuries. Things are going, as I said in a recent video, from bad to worse. It feels like they need some reprieve in the January transfer window. But this season, so far, they have played 12 matches in the Premier League. How many goals have they scored?
Ooh.
Fastest finger first. Somebody put 36.2. Good guess, go score. The guesses are flying in. Great to see you guys. Thanks again, Moldy, for the support. Thanks again to Roland Richards for the support earlier as well. Love to see it. And congratulations again to the Raheem Sterling winner. I don't think we've got a response to you yet on YouTube. Let me go and check. No, not yet. So Sterling, I don't think we're going to get him out. And the answers have been flying. And guys, let's have a wee peek. Do we have the right answer? The correct answer is so far in 12 matches, Newcastle has scored 27 goals so far. We had a lot of guesses. We had some guys maybe hitting the wrong number on the keyboard, perhaps. But the first 27 I have here is from Thunderwolf 237. Congratulations, my man. Can you just confirm your Sorare club name in the live chat from the same YouTube account that we've got the correct answer for there? And we'll get that shipped out to you, buddy. Congratulations.
Big congrats, yeah.
Big congrats. Now, guys, I'm going to ship this one out. And then I'm just going to see if there's a Thunderwolf 232. There at 237. Yeah, there is. There is a Thunderwolf 237. So if you can just confirm that as you, I can just action this trade. Who are we giving away on this one again? Oh, yeah, Wilson.
Wilson, yeah.
We still have Ball and Golly. We'll do him in a moment. But guys, I put a little tweet out the other day as well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, Doctor Strange and the Time Stone and going through all different versions of reality to try and work out Thunderwolf 237 on Sorare. Fantastic. And I've honestly, Harry, I said to you when you come on for the stream today, I've just been looking at my teams. I just honestly cannot fault them at all. I'm so glad we went through the deadline stream and I don't feel any differently about them. Now, the question that's on everyone's lips, Quinny, you said you could have went for D1 and if you fell flat in your face, what are you going to do? Are you going to do it again? Yes, I'm going to do it again. I've got a lot of injuries to a lot of strikers. And otherwise, I'm going for it. I think I've got a chance. I'm going for it this game week. And with all the other competitions that are on, with the fixtures I've got for my specific cards, I'm quite hopeful that I can get a team that can really punch in there. And where does it get fun? It gets worthwhile if I get into the top 10. If I can get into the top 9, then it's probably we've done well. But it gets really fun if we get into the top 5. We're winning some money and a better value tier 2, no doubt. But if we get onto the podium, anywhere on the podium, it's a significant win. We're getting a big chunk of change, a bag of sand at least, or 700 quid. A tier 1 super rare. Our 2 stars are there. And if you did get right up to the tippy top, there's a wee tier 2 unique. So we could only dream and pray. But we're having a shot at it, Harry boy, because that's the FC Barcelona way. We want to go for the podiums. We want to be shooting for it. But a big part of the strategy at the club over the last, really this season, has been playing my teams as super rares and rares, going quite red and blue. And a big part of that has been the 240 function. So really strong team going out in the cap 240. Marcus Llorente, if you look at his track record for me, that super rare has won a lot of thresholds as far as any super rare in my gallery has. He's quite a threshold card in that sense. Kyogo and Taylor and Roca, Soria, it fits absolutely perfectly. I think it's very card capable, this team. I think Llorente can get good 80 and a decisive, which is why I've made him captain. I would love to get on the podium in this. Really, once you say top 15 is really where it starts, really. So top 15 is a target, but the podium is would that be amazing? So that's kind of what I'm hoping for there. But the 220s did kind of mix it up a little bit because normally after I've kind of done that, we're looking at, maybe 270s or maybe some division 3s and stuff like that. But in the Super Rare 220, I am going for it. Now, we should have some Wolves fans here, and I want some last-minute opinions from Wolves fans. Please don't torture me with this, right? But in Super Rare, I've got an L15-0 outfielder, Harry, which means I'm allowed to then, with the cap rules and the way everything goes, I can get out a boss team. I should win it this week, I think. I've got a nuts team. I've got Skorupski and goals to Torino. Should be a good game. I've got Santi Bueno and an L15-0, which means I can get Renier in at home at Genoa, Brais Mendes in at home at Sevilla, and I can get Rodrigo Goes up front. I've got no super rare strikers, so it makes getting this team I have Cunha, but Cunha is not as good in this team as Rodrigo for me. And then subsequently, I've got a rare keeper. Doesn't make much of a difference. So the way the injuries go, I've only got 2 super rare strikers. So it kind of my decisions were made for me, and when I got that team clicked in, I just felt like the rest of my gallery made sense. Everything else just really dropped into position from there. Now I've got a really exciting rare 220 as well. I've got the Ramsdale cheat code in for the 0. I've got Chano because he's just a boss centre back, and then I've got midfielder death of Wirtz and Bernardo Silva, and then we're getting Yang up front, who's very AA capable, just needs one decisive, and he's going to double his L15 or whatever. So again, for 220, feeling really, really good about how we're sitting out there. And for 240, For Rare, it feels like a good OG FC Barcelona outfit. We've got Mukiele, we've got Kamada, we've got Johnny fucking Russell, and there's a wee bit of Captain Was, who's became a bit of a hero this season. So I'm feeling good. We're having good fun with that. And then an All-Star, I don't know, I don't always stack Celtic this hard, but I've got a Turnbull in my gallery. I'm playing Kyogo. A lot of people have asked me that. I'm just going all Celtic and All-Star, and whatever happens with that, happens with that. It gets to really fun in All-Star Rare when you get to the top 80, because that's where you start to get some money paid out. And a Celtic stack with good XP, good collection bonus with the game week the way it's probably going to go. Yeah, I think it could. But like I mentioned, Harry, normally the season strategy has been play super rare, play rare. I've not done much D3, if any, but with the injuries I've got and the way things, like I said, when I clicked that 220 in, it then meant I've still got 2 goalkeepers left. I still had some really good super rare midfielders. I still had some really good rares lying around. And in a division that I have tried to put some strength in, I think finally I'm going to get a team that John McGinn's going to win a card from. For as good as John McGinn's form's been, I cannot get him to win me a card. And I hope he's going to do it for me this game week. Because this D3 team in Champ Pro feels pretty punchy. Big LG at home tonight. I know he's playing Tottenham, but I think he'll still do great. Taki Kubo is captain. Guardiola and Oblak at the back. You know, it feels good, feels strong.
Feels good, yeah.
Then
Mark says McGinn has not trained this week.
Oh no! Don't say that. Don't say that. I think he'll be fine.
Wow,
he'll be fine.
Mark, come on.
He'll be fine. And then I've got another D3 going out. Just about now. I don't have that much faith in this, right? And for All-Star to have my weaker D3 in it is very uncharacteristic. But this D3 looks very much like your first D3 team, or All-Star Rare Plus, or whatever we're going to call it, you know, where you've just got a couple of super rare mids you could afford that play L15, 40 odd. Maybe they can get a goal once in a while and whatever. So I don't think it's got a great chance, but it's like a well kind of built team, I feel, you know. So I think I've got 8 strong teams here that I'm really excited about for every one of their individual things. Despite all these mad injuries I've got, it's made me play down, and finally playing down into 220 is like worthwhile for a start. And then I'm quite fortunate, I suppose I've got enough shrapnel to make up some plus teams, which is funny. So yeah, thanks for that one. We did catch the Rodrigo stuff. I think he's probably fine. Somebody reckons no chance for Bueno. I wouldn't risk it. Hasn't even been on the bench. Interesting. 60%. I think, I don't know. Interesting you say that. No chance. Because I did have him as more than likely to play. Because I think the manager, what's his name again? O'Neill, favours playing this kind of system. And with Dawson being yellow card suspended, like the alternative here is changing the shape, essentially. Playing Sarabia and playing like 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 or something. I think he will keep that settled. I know you're saying he's not been on the bench for a couple of games. I did spot that myself, but I'm pretty sure I also followed it up and I seen something that kind of made it seem that he was all right, you know, and whatever. So if there's anything you can help me, clean that up a little bit, because I'm mad excited about my team and I'd hate it to be. But yeah, not in the squad for one match there against Tottenham. Don't mind the other 21s not in squads, because obviously we don't care if he's in the squad for the other 21s. But I think he's okay, to be honest with you, from a health perspective. And I think the tactics part of it is like important to the manager. And when did they play? He played for Wolves in a cup match. He played under 21s as well, against Ipswich. And I think that kind of told me, I can share this little tab thing here. Like, yeah, plays in the middle, that Dawson position, middle of the back three. So I could see him doing it. But if you're telling me no chance, I believe you. But help me out. Why no chance? Give me something a bit more.
Well, I guess that was a cup game, wasn't it? Maybe he's not. I don't know.
Fair. I know he's not really kicked on too much, but when it was awful. Oh, don't tell me that, Moldy. You're killing my vibe here. Back in training, but doubt he's match fit. Might get 60, 70 minutes, but CBs, I'm always slightly concerned they'll start. Yeah, I get that. I don't know. I think if you're the manager, I think you want to keep your shape. I think you want to keep, that 5-3-2, that 3-5-2 kind of wonky shape that they've been playing. Some of you are telling me here somebody else might play that role. I don't know if any of you are just trying to send me into a frenzy Nathan Collins could have cost me a TNP. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, back in training. I think that's what it was. I seen like he is training and he's up for it. Oh, he's put a wee bit of doubt in me. I was quite buzzing. So I think on Sorare data as well, I think everyone was punching in the Santi Bueno chat. But but no, I'm going for it, man. I'm going for it. I think he's... Is there anything else I can double check? He's giving me the right fear now. Moldy. Moldy's really giving me the fear.
Moldy seems to know his onions as well, so...
Moldy does seem to know his onions as well. So that gives me not too long to rip my teams apart.
And the fact that he's out 15-0 just... I mean, even if... I don't know. If he gets off the bench... I don't know. Because
the alternative to this is playing Cunha, essentially. So it's Cunha goes up front.
Yeah.
And a different defender and goalkeeper comes in. That frees up Rodrigo. So I need to do this quick time. If you really, do you really think that, Moldy? I really trust you, buddy. Like, if you do think that. I thought he was nailed on to come in for this. He's fit and available. Your other man's yellow carded. I wouldn't change anything, mate. I don't want to be responsible. Fair enough. Hold. Aye. Stick with it. Stick with it. Live by the sword, die by the sword. I don't know. It would destroy the D3 here. That gets torn apart. It really does. Yeah, it really does. Leuven goalkeeper injured, so Toby Lyson set to start, guys.
Ooh.
Light one coming in.
I've got a Toby Lyson as well. Oh, what do I do? I've got a super rare Toby Lyson.
Oof. Can you get him in anywhere?
I've got... I know it's a stupid thing to say, but I literally have too many super rare goalkeepers to start. Like, I don't have enough... I genuinely do not have enough outfielders to play ball with. Is there anything I could do? I don't think so. What's his L15? Layson.
Must be 0.
Yeah, it is 0. Is he actually playing? They play Club Bruges, though. Yeah, he's 80% on, though. Ooh. This rips up a load of my teams if I do this. Fuck. I don't know if I can afford to do it. It's 2 minutes to the deadline.
It's I've got a wee bit of last minute doubt on Santi now. Monday night game. I don't know. I just think I think he plays. I think they keep the shape. I think that's the most important part. But if he doesn't play, that will really kill me. I've only got 2 minutes to swap this around. I'm really fucking it up if I'm going to change it.
I'm not
an easy
my
midfielder.
I'm not doing it.
Nah.
I can't. I'm not touching mine. I probably should, but I don't have enough time to think about it. Like, you know.
What I'm going to change is the midfielders. So I'm going to put McGinn and Goretzka into here. That's what I'm going to do. I just think, no. So what I'm thinking is maybe just shuffling. So I think Rainier and Braze will. Oh fuck, nah. Just roll with it. I'm sticking with Bueno. I thought he was going to play. I'm sticking with it. Ride or die. I think, yeah. We've only 1 minute left. I've basically made the decision. I'm not going to rip a team up because it will cost me. I'm stuck with it. We're sticking with Bueno. Moldy, please, mate, be wrong. Please be wrong, Moldy. Please be wrong. I think the coach sticks with. I think tactics above all for Wolves. That was the thing that really swayed me with it overall when I was looking through it. And again, you need to be careful sometimes with how these teams are displayed. Some of these are telling me some of our guys can do the role or whatever, right? Maybe they can, but it's 3-5-2. Kilman, Dawson, Totti. This team here. Kilman, Dawson, Totti. I know it looks a bit skewed, but 8 Nuri here at left back. Semedo's a right back. It's basically the same shape. Kilman, Dawson, Totti. 8 Nuri, Semedo, left backs and right backs. It's quite clearly here. You can see the back three again. Back three again. back three again. I don't think he wants to change this. Look, it looks like a back four for this one. It probably is. Yeah, away to Luton. Different game to away to Fulham. This one here, they did play a back four in this one. Oh, that's kind of thrown me a bit. But that's with Dawson. They don't have him. And I think the reason they'll go to a back three is because none of their defenders are really back four capable. They are back three defence. You know, guys like Totti, Kilman. So I think he sticks with back three. We're in, guys. It's deadline. We're done. We are living by the sword and dying by the sword. Now, we're about to end the stream in a moment. We do have a ball and golly to give away. Right? So we're going to give him away to someone in the live chat, and then that'll be us calling it a stream. I'll hit the end button, and a Newcastle video is premiere on the channel. You can go. Good luck into the game week, guys. Watch that little video. If you want to come to the game, you can drop a comment and get involved in it as well. But we are live and loud for game week. I don't even know the number of it. 427. And that's my little limited team I managed to throw out as well. Harry, thanks to your channel giving me the tip off that I can still do that. So, how about if we got one more question to give away, one more card before we call it a day, Harry?
Yeah, it's up to you. Could save it for next week.
We could save it for next week. We gave a lot of cards away. It's ball and golly. I don't think anyone's going to be in a rush to get them. Okay, we're going to give it away. I want to give it away before we go, right? So, here we go. We did a Newcastle one. Okay. Man United so far in the Premier League have how many points? Since it's Newcastle versus Man United next week. How many points do Man United have in the league? First person that can tell me that, you can get this ball and golly. Some of these are saying that you're refusing to bid in this competition for him. And I don't understand that. So if you want to abstain from winning a ball and golly, I get you. That's why I don't want to keep him. I'm just not, if you're a Celtic fan, ball and golly's we don't like him. We don't want to see him in here. He's too horny. Somebody was saying earlier. And the correct answer is Man United have 21 points. The first answer that I've got here is Zildra X. Congratulations. Can you just confirm your Sorare name for me? I'm going to search that in case that is what it is. Zildra X. Yes, there is a Zildra X. So I think that's you. If you can just confirm that that is you. Congratulations. We'll get that sent over to you, buddy. But just confirm that is you, Zildra X. And yeah, that'll be us. Harry boy, I'm buzzing. I'm a wee bit nervous now for 220. It's going to be a long sweat to see the Wolves team on Monday night. Congratulations. Thanks very much, mate, and thanks to everyone, guys, that has contributed to the giveaways, the people that actually donated shit. Thanks very much. And the people that participated. It's going to be a huge game week. I'm going to the Etihad tomorrow. We're going to St James's Park next week. It's the Premier League giveaway, or the Premier League giveaway thing on Sorare starting. We're locked into the Super Cap. I've got a ride or die play. I've put my two best super rare mids and my best rare forward in with a sketchy AF defender pick, it would seem, at the deadline. So let's see how it ride or dies for me. But I'm quite hopeful for the rest of my teams are going to go well. Harry, everyone, good luck. Fist bumps. Thanks to everyone that joined the stream today. And yeah, we'll catch you next week. Harry boy, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. All the best, lads.